Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning, you beautiful souls. Welcome to it. It's a brand new day. How are you going to conquer it? You can start thinking about that right now as we welcome you to our feel-good kickstart to this brand new day. My name is Graham Richards. You, of course, are live with Expresso. I can tell you, I know who is having a fantastic morning. I'm sure still continuing the buzz from a brilliant night last night. The throngs of fans who went out to see Toni Braxton live in South Africa. It sounds like the living legend did not disappoint, even if she got onto stage a little bit late. But just judging by the reaction from fans, people have been posting obviously a huge amount of awesome moments from the concert last night. It seems like she really did deliver. So what were you doing last night? Were you able to get out to see Toni Braxton here in the mother city? Post some pictures. Let us know what the concert was like. What was your favorite moment? Which performance did you enjoy the most? It sounds like Shekinah was also pretty awesome in the build-up to that. I know our own Jamie Lee Domberg was there, filling us with FOMO as she obviously loved the opportunity to see one of the greatest R&B singers of our time, of any generation really, performing live in SA. I know someone else who was suffering from FOMO. Tabiso was not there as well, buddy. How are you feeling about missing the concert, man?
I'm absolutely devastated. I'm devastated, but as long as I live, I will commit the rest of my life to watching all the videos on social media of everybody else who was there. But welcome to it. It's a brand new day. It's another chance for us to chase after our dreams. Welcome to Hump Day. My name is Tabiso Makubela, otherwise Uncle Tabsy. Let's get this show on the road. We start off by looking at those temperatures across those major parts of the country, starting off in Johannesburg, hopefully guiding what you're going to be wearing in terms of your fashion and your wardrobe today. Intervals of clouds out in Johannesburg with sun and thunderstorm in a couple of spots in the morning. And of course, as the day progresses, cloud cover will increase with a couple of showers and another thunderstorm. So be prepared for rain if you're out in Johannesburg. And if you're out in Durban, it's a rainy day for you today. Times of sun and clouds with humid conditions and a brief afternoon shower or two, just like yesterday. And towards the evening, rain becomes heavier and cloudy conditions are expected. Durban, hey, don't forget those raincoats, those umbrellas. And if you're out in Port Elizabeth, it's a rainy day once again today. Partly sunny conditions with a shower in places in the morning and a strong southwesterly wind that should die down towards the evening. And mainly cloudy conditions are expected with heavy showers towards the afternoon. So don't forget your umbrellas, PE. The mother city, Cape Town, sunny conditions with clear skies and a strong southeasterly wind for the entire day. And towards the evening, the sky will remain clear with a warm sunset expected out in the mother city. So it's a pretty clear and a good day out in the mother city. In fact, that is why today I've decided to dress the way that I'm doing, because it's all about updating your summer wardrobe by adding some key trendy items, which I'm going to be doing today. This summer, we're seeing a lot of relaxed suiting styles going around. You don't always have to wear a tailored suit. You really don't. And wearing a formal outfit in a casual setting, it's becoming quite the norm these days, I'm finding. I absolutely love this slim fit classic collection suit from Woolies. In fact, this is a classic Studio W suit. So it's a collection of Studio W. It's an absolute classic no matter what you pair it with. And as you can see, I've decided to wear it with a nice relaxed shirt just to break the formality a little bit. It's an edition shirt from Woolworths as well. The perfect combination for a day at the office or an evening out. And of course, this dark floral shirt I'm talking about, this edition one, it's really perfect to activate my summer holiday mode. I already feel like I'm on holiday for that laid-back feel. I've paired this ensemble with these grey shoes that I've got on here. They're very nice. It works. So you can really mix it up. You can do it with sneakers. If you wanted to do sneakers, you can do it with formal pants. The trick is sometimes if you want to just relax it a little bit, to not wear any socks. That just, eases your outfit. Of course, it just is a nice mix for your confidence. And of course, I'm ready to rock this entire look all day long. So gents, go and shop your relaxed street style at Woolworths, in store, online, or on the Woolies app. And of course, you'll be getting compliments all day long. You can take my word for it.
Well, somebody who's not getting compliments all day long and rather filling us with a lot of FOMO, Jamie Lee. Sister Princess, did you hear that Jamie Lee saw Toni Braxton yesterday?
Yes.
Live and direct. She was there. I am still in a high. I'm not taking off this
Oh
band.
my gosh.
I'm literally not taking
You
off
still
this
got the band? Okay, so clearly it was, there's you. Oh, very nice. Were you holding the McAfee cup there?
Yes, because
Very
McDonald's
nice.
invited me. It was like a little birthday gift for myself and my friends.
That's amazing.
So thank you so much, McDonald's. Oh, I don't want this day to even end because I still want to be in the high. It was probably the best concert I've ever been to.
Really?
No, she is amazing live. She sings.
I saw some of the photos that Austin Malema posted from the Joburg concert, and man, she looked great on stage. The lighting looked amazing. The visuals looked amazing. It just like, yeah?
Popping.
Okay, I can feel you. You are burning right now to sing us your favorite Toni Braxton song. Go for it.
After last night, I don't have a favorite song, but Unbreak My Heart. Say you love me again.
Princess, as part of our morning post this morning on Facebook, we're asking you whether you have gone to see Toni Braxton. She was performing in Johannesburg and now, of course, last night in Cape Town. Let us know, what is your favorite Toni Braxton song? My personal favorite is probably Spanish Guitar. I like it. Hey, then I want to know what Princess's favorite one is.
What is your favorite
My
song?
one is Breathe Again.
Breathe Again.
Breathe again.
How does it go again?
Breathe again, and I can breathe again. That's all I know. But, hey. Hey,
Yes!
They didn't know the words. Not one of them knows the words, man. But it looks like a beautiful concert. So hopefully you're feeling nice and positive this morning. So to inspire you today, we're actually going to take a look back. And these are some very wise words, maybe for all of us to take on board this morning. I'm going to put it like this. Be aware of where you have gone wrong and review your results. Reviewing your results is important so that you can see where you've gone wrong in the past and avoid similar missteps further on down the road. It's also important because it's a good motivator to see how much you've actually improved and how far you've come. So embrace those mistakes. Don't be afraid to look back and see where you've taken a misstep or two. Most importantly, lay the framework, the foundation to not repeat those mistakes moving forward. Be honest with yourself, get an honest representation of where you could have gone wrong and where you could improve so you can continue to climb. So hopefully that has filled you with a little bit of motivation, but got you thinking a bit more, being a bit more present and mindful in your own life this morning. And you can start thinking about where you might have gone wrong yesterday and how you want to improve today as we broach those news headlines.
Thank you very much, Graham. Let's take a first look at those headlines. The Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in KwaZulu-Natal has activated councillors and volunteers to assist affected communities after a tornado hit New Hanover out in Pietermaritzburg yesterday afternoon. Communications and Digital Technologies Minister Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams says to fully leverage on the fourth industrial revolution, the African continent has to see to it that all digital strategies are people-centered to ensure that they're not left behind. In international headlines, queues formed outside banks in Zimbabwe yesterday as people hoped to get hold of the country's first Zimbabwean dollar notes to be issued since 2009. Inflation in Zimbabwe is currently thought to be around 300%. Former Bolivian President Evo Morales arrived at Mexico City last night asking for asylum because he said his life was in danger. He resigned on Sunday after weeks of protests over a disputed presidential election result. And finally, Cape Nature has recently been in the news for various good reasons. Last week, it was named as finalist in the Infrastructure Development category for the annual Vision 2030 Awards, which recognize the achievements and success stories of organizations, enterprises, and individuals that are actively demonstrating alignment to the government's 9-point plan to boost economic growth. Further good news, Cape Nature has announced a tourism prize freeze at reserves across the Western Cape until the 31st of August next next year. This probably the best news, and Cape Nature will be part of a Black Friday frenzy as clients using the online booking system on the 29th of November will qualify for a 50% discount for any bookings made for the period of 15th of January to the 31st of March 2020 at certain reserves. And that's where we leave it for now. The next report in just over half an hour. Here's Graham with a look at your sports.
Thanks so much, T. Bringing you a quick sporting synopsis in rugby. 9 current and former Springboks have been included in the Barbarian squad for the November tour, where they will face Fiji, Brazil, and of course our World Cup semi-final opponents, Wales. Again, 6 other players joined the Rugby World Cup winning trio of Makazolo Mapimpi, Tendai Beestam Twararira, and Lucanio Am. And staying with rugby, South African rugby player Kobus van Wyk has now signed for New Zealand Super Rugby team, the Hurricanes, after previously, of course, playing for local sides, the Stormers and the Sharks. In athletics, Paralympic athlete Renee Veyers won South Africa's first gold medal at the 2019 World Para-Athletics Championships, currently taking place in Dubai. Veyers won the women's 400-meter T47 event, setting a record to boot in a time of 55.79 seconds. In tennis world number 1 Rafa Nadal was outplayed by ATP finals defending champion Alexander Zverev, going down in straight sets 6-2, 6-4 in the opening round-robin match. And third seed Roger Federer beat Italy's Matteo Berrettini 7-6, 6-3. That, of course, in the ATP finals in London. And then finally on to motorsport. Red Bull Racing has now confirmed that Thai British racing driver Alexander Albon will be the teammate of Max Verstappen for the 2020 season. That, of course, starting in March next year. We'll expand on all of those stories as we progress.
Thank you so much, Graham, for that update. Now, we have asked you to send in your sunrise pictures this morning, and Ntokoza Makatini sent us this beautiful sunrise from Johannesburg, where times of sun and clouds can be expected with a shower or thunderstorm in spots, reaching a maximum of 27 degrees. Father Khan also sent us this incredible sunrise picture from Richards Bay, where cloudy conditions can be expected with afternoon showers and a few strong thunderstorms in the evening, reaching a maximum of 29 degrees. Now, let's take a look at the rest of the country. Thunderstorms can be expected for you, Polokwane, with a low of 18, reaching a high of 24. Umbumbela with 19.25. Pretoria 16.28, and thunderstorms can be expected for Johannesburg with a low of 15, peaking at 27. High humidity for Mahikeng with a low of 16 and a high of 30. A couple of showers for Klerksdorp with a low of 16, peaking at 30. Kimberley 13.32. Bloemfontein 12.30, and heavy rain for Richards Bay with a low of 19 and a high of 29. A couple of showers for Pietermaritzburg with a low of 16, reaching a maximum of 26. Durban 20.25, and heavy rainfall for Umtata with a low of 14 and a high of 21. East London 17.25, Craddock 9.25, and a southwesterly wind of 33 kilometers per hour for you, Port Elizabeth 16.22. So hold on to that hats. George 15.18, and the lowest temperature in the country can be found in Sutherland with an all low of 5, reaching a high of 21. Cape Town Mother City 16.24, occasional rain for Worcester with a low of 10 and a high of 24. Springbok 12.29, and the highest temperature in the country is for Uppington with a low of 16, peaking at 32. It is a Wednesday, make it count and do the most.
Well, it's going to be a fantastic Wednesday, and there's Toni Braxton fever all over the show. Says Princess, you gave us a beautiful rendition of Breathe Again. Yes. I didn't know that you had the vi-fi in the vocal cords there. Huh? You know, it's a beautiful thing. Do you know what my favorite one is? I said Spanish guitar.
Which one is this?
Do you mind singing it with me?
No.
Come. I wish that I was in your arms like that Spanish guitar, and you would play me through the night till the love. And that guy comes in with that funny, that Spanish part that nobody knows. It's a beautiful thing. Listen, on social media, we want to know, what is your favorite Toni Braxton song? Let us know, especially if you've been to some of the concerts. Show us your pictures and videos. Send them through to us. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3 at Expresso Show. And of course, always that hashtag Expresso Show. I can't wait to hear what Graham's favorite Toni Braxton song is.
Yes. only the highest grade Arabica beans. McCafe, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So now that we have established that not one of us on set knows any of the words to any Toni Braxton song.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, your Spanish guitar was all right. It was okay.
Is this a Spanish part that kind of angle cut me a little bit?
We are, in fact, going to be delving into our local entertainment news and pretty serious stuff as we move towards 16 days against violence against women and children. 16 days of activism and opportunity. I think to add, to build on the voice of this year, if 2019 can be remembered for anything, please let it be remembered for this country taking cognizance of the plight of women and children and doing something about it.
Yeah, and speaking of a big voice this year as well, and one that'll be resounding all over the world, let's talk about Miss South Africa. The current campaign for our reigning Miss South Africa, Zozibini Tunzi, to take the crown at the upcoming Miss Universe Gala finale is gathering strong momentum, and on Monday afternoon, she took to Instagram Live to announce that what she'll be advocating for in her bid for that coveted title. Now, Miss Tunzi, who made an impassioned plea against gender-based violence at the Miss South Africa finale on Wednesday, on Women's Day, rather, on the 9th of August, has teamed up with the UN Women organization to join the ranks of the hashtag #HeForShe campaign, which works towards gender equality and the empowerment of women. Now, as we head into the internationally observed period of 16 days of activism of no violence against women and children, and as the nation, of course, is still reeling from the blood of the women and children in our own country, whose blood has been shed during the months of August and September, she's taking this moment to unite her nation nation in a strong outcry against this pandemic. Now, the beauty queen has asked South African men to pledge their support by writing love letters to the women of South Africa, which she will then in turn incorporate into her national costume at Miss Universe, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So Zosibini then further explained in a press release, saying, quote, those letters will be inscribed on the ribbons of fabric, which will in turn form part of my national costume. And in what will be a first, I will literally take South Africa with me to Miss Universe. I will wear a wave of love from men in the form of love letters, celebrating and honoring the women of this country.
So clever. We know that, like, generally it becomes, and I don't want to say it's a cliche, but often it'll be, you know, it'll be our national colours, or we'll go with like a local culture, and that's a cool edge to have.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of shows our South Africanness on the world stage. But this feels like the most contemporary way of representing South Africa, where South Africa is right now. It's not just about our national pride, which is there. We know it's not just about representing the multitude of cultures, which we love in our country, but it's about saying, where is South Africa's mindset right now, and how can you use that platform in the most powerful and potent way? And it's a massive, to be on a global stage, to be able to speak those messages, to be able to continue that conversation, which has been dominant here in South Africa, to take it to that level. Brilliant. It's a masterstroke. I think it's very, very clever.
What I love the most about her is, and I met her a few weeks ago, and she's like, I am the voice for the voiceless. So she is carrying that power with her to the stage, and like you said, to an international stage where she's representing South Africa and the women, and just, you know, being that voice for us. So, kudos to you.
Yeah, so well done, Zosibini Tunzi, our current reigning Miss South Africa. Good luck at Miss Universe, and I think a powerful statement being made by you, and one that shows consistency as well. You know, it wasn't just a movement or something that was said at the Miss South Africa pageant. You're carrying it through to the entire world. So check out heforshe.org as a website in order to find out more about what this organization and this campaign is doing for the empowerment of women all around the world. And follow also in the journey of our Miss South Africa as she makes her way to Miss Universe.
And get writing
her writing your own love letters that could possibly be incorporated then into that national costume. Halala, Zosibini, halala.
What an inspiring entertainment platter this morning here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Now time for us to take a look at an inspired offering of trailers that are out when it comes to the world of movies. JP Sebastian joins us this morning. It is a Wednesday. Hump Day is all about looking at those latest movie trailers making waves that have just recently come out. Wendy is one of them.
Yeah, speaking of women's...
Good morning, sorry.
Oh, good morning.
So good to see you, JP.
Good to see you,
Welcome.
too.
I mean, I saw you earlier. We've been sitting here a while.
And there's roses
together,
and there's a Spanish guitar, but okay, fine. Wendy's directed by Ben Zeitel. And why this name is important, most people won't know it, but we might remember Beasts of the Southern Wild was a movie in 2012 that was nominated for Best Picture, and that was the dude's first film. This is his second. His first film was nominated for Best Picture. That's the movie that, I don't know if you remember, the young Quvenzhané Wallis. She was like 9 years old and nominated for Best Actress. Anyway, that's the competency that we're dealing with here. A guy who made a child actor nominatable for an Oscar.
An award like that, yeah.
And so his second time around is Wendy. And again, it's a story following kids just trying to be kids, but at the same time, similarly to Beasts of the Southern Wild, at the strange intersection between the fantastic and the terraformer, sort of like grounded on Mother Earth. Again, these are children from an impoverished or marginalized background, you could say. And Wendy, in this case, is a remake or a reimagination of the Peter Pan series. Of course, we all remember that. That's where the name comes from, in fact. Wendy, the name didn't exist before Peter Pan.
Wow.
Yeah, a little factoid for the morning.
Wow.
I've had my caffeine.
That's an interesting fact, honestly.
I can leave then. Bye, everyone. But look at these visuals. Incredible, again, this director, able to make first-time little child actors. This will be the actress's first time as well. Dean Francis is her name, but we'll know more about her name within like the next 10 years, probably.
Dean France, yeah.
Telling it from the angle of Wendy, and not here with sort of the bright, shiny costumes and everything like that. People, these kids are wearing, like, you know, T-shirts and underwear the way I used to swim when.
But totally
I was
not
like
what
2
you would
years ago.
expect for what is meant to be a Peter
grand,
Pan remake
fantasy.
in that way.
Sure.
Which is probably a good thing as well.
Sometimes you need something with a bit of a different edge. Maybe it grounds it more in reality for people, and especially if we need more stories. In fact, that are like, say, the Florida Project, or like, say, Pan's Labyrinth, or Tigers Are Not Afraid. That's still coming out in South Africa. That talks about movies that poor people exist and they have life stories too. And on top of the travails of trying to find romance and the other person and not wanting to grow up ever and keep your dreams, you have to worry about eating the next day as well.
Wendy. So when is Wendy out?
No date in SA just yet, but I believe it's February next year in the United States. But we'll get a date in time in SA. But man, looks beautiful. Gave me goosebumps watching this trailer. Check for yourself.
Look, it does look beautiful. Just looking at those visuals there, it looks really beautiful. It seems like such a performance-driven type of film as well. So to see those children rise to the occasion is going to be very interesting. But of course, he's done it before. He's had a child actor go on to be nominated for an Oscar. So I think the ability to give direction to children in that way, he's been able to do it. So that shouldn't be disappointing.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so Soul is the next one.
And Pixar doesn't mess around. Again, speaking about children and directing children, obviously Pixar is an animation studio. Pete Docter, however, his interest is very much in... This dude does not take on like the small subjects at all. Now he's dealing with the nature of the soul after Inside Out. Remember the movie with the little 5 emotions in the kid's head?
Yes.
And that was beautiful. It was masterful. Pete Docter is not here to play games again. He's got Jamie Foxx leading the cast this time, who is a jazz high school band teacher. And this trailer is really more of a teaser. You don't really know so much about the story just yet. And it really like kicks down the door with like what seems like a threat, but he's quite elated to say, with your very little time you have on Earth, what would you do? What is it you're passionate about, and how would you express your inner, soul, your personal essence? So that's supposed to sound all uplifting.
Look, for an animated film, it is quite thought-provoking, it sounds.
Pete Docter, like I said, it was quite sweet. Inside Out inspired him when he first saw his daughter start to go undergo changes when she was just a tiny little 6-year-old. And now he's dealing with like bigger questions to bite off. And once again, Pixar is not afraid from obviously the people who brought you Coco before. People obviously brought you Finding Nemo and all these other kinds of things. Coco especially, and this one will deal with it too, the big question of death. How do you tell your children about death? Pixar does it in bright colors.
What a way to do it.
Really sensitively and really delicately, really beautifully. Obviously, we know that from Inside Out. I doubt that we're going to have any problems with them dealing with big topics and soul, too. I'm so excited. Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey.
Yes, Tina Fey is in there. Who's Felicia Rashad?
She used to be in The Cosby Show. Ugh, persona non grata. Remember the mother in anyway, maybe you're a bit too young. Maybe you're tiny soul still. I'm an old soul. So I remember her. The mom from that TV.
So that's going to be a good one. Pete Docter. Kemp Powers, they've co-directed this, and no release date out in South Africa yet, exact date, but we know that's mid-June, right?
Of next year, of course.
Okay, more movie trailers coming out with JP Sebastian a little bit later on, so make sure that you keep it locked right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Let us know on Facebook. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. What do you think of these trailers? Are you looking forward to these or not?
I am.
I am too.
We certainly are. Yeah, soul looks really good. Hey, and speaking about somebody who's got a lot of soul, Toni Braxton was in town yesterday. She performed, and we've got Toni Braxton fever all over this studio.
Here's the thing. Throughout the day, y'all are going to be teaching me Toni Braxton songs. That's how it's going to be. You're going to teach me.
We're going to try our best.
You can't teach.
But you can't escape that. We've all done our favorites, and now you need to do your favorite.
I think I only know one really. I know them, and if you had to play them, I'll be like, oh, my word out. But it has to be that, break my heart.
Go.
Say you love me again.
Yes.
That's it. That's
man, that was you. You took it there,
and then
you teed me up.
Wow. But that's what a person who can't sing just feels.
You sound amazing, but you got that husk about your voice that I really like.
But people are loving it, man. I love it. It obviously strikes a nostalgic chord for a lot of us, I think. People coming onto our platforms just absolutely loving Toni this morning. Annette Roberts saying, I still love How Could an Angel Break My Heart. Is that the title of a song or a line?
No, I think that is...
That's the title of a song. Old school Toni, and she is old school and kind of new school as well. Then Renata Scott saying, good morning, Expresso team, and Break My heart. Started singing, just thinking of the title. I think we're all going to be Toni Braxtoning the whole day.
All day.
Wow. And then also Henry Kunstwerker says, love the Toni Braxton vibe this morning. Long as I Live is my favorite. And that's one of her newer ones, isn't it? Yeah, one of the latest releases there. Ah, man. It's beautiful stuff. So let us know. We would love to hear from you if you were at the concert. Show us pictures if you managed to take any. Maybe you even got to meet and greet.
Do you still have your bracelet?
I'm not taking this off. I'm literally not taking this off until I'm done. Like, I don't know.
Until I'm done.
Right on the high.
Jamie Lee, you were at the concert yesterday. How does How Could an Angel Break My Heart go again?
How could an angel break my heart?
You got the whole thing with the
bye-bye.
Win a trip to London from the 12th to the 20th of November with Travel Start, Virgin Atlantic, and in the company of our local explorers, Danilo Acquisto and Akila Haron. Catch this travel fab duo on Expresso with their guide to the time of your life in London town. Vote for your favorite itinerary on the Travel Start website and put yourself in the draw for those 2 return tickets on Virgin Atlantic.
Check, 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 check. 1 2 1 2. This is Levin. Cool, guys. You like guys? Okay. What's your order?
We're just standing. No, I don't, but I think let's stand next to who we usually stand to, so we can hear. Yes. Yeah. Am I having a lapel? Yeah. All right. It's just a pan shot.
Yeah. 30 seconds.
So this is just a shot. We're actually singing. We're supposed to sing.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show, live, large and in charge. Happy Wednesday to you. So good to be in your company. Time for us right now to take you through some of the most exciting stories we've found in the world of technology. One involving Elon Musk's SpaceX, which made not just 1, but 2 new milestones earlier on this week as part of its bid to create a global broadband network through its Starlink satellite internet service.
Free Wi-Fi for all.
Yeah, exactly. That's the world we're going for.
Yeah,
right,
man. Bring
so
it.
check it out. The commercial spaceflight company has confirmed that it had successfully launched 60 satellites into space and will begin distributing them in orbit far above the Earth. And the hope is that the company will leverage its network of satellites to beam high-speed internet to various regions on Earth where customers will be able to then connect to the web. Now, the firm made the event a startling success, which is even more impressive considering that SpaceX deployed those 60 satellites from a reusable rocket that, as of now, has now made 4 successive trips into orbit that have then each resulted in successful landings. That is
how far have
what on Earth,
man?
Yeah, man. And when you consider space debris and space waste and all of that, this is revolutionary what they've done.
It really is. I do think about it, not that I have like sleepless nights about it, but I do think a lot lot about the amount of space debris and the amount of kind of satellites and things we've got, orbiting the Earth at the moment. The design of these things, because once they're up, they've got to kind of just do their thing. They've got to run autonomously and look after themselves, and so it's a designed feat. But I can't help but think about kind of on the show when we were doing these tech updates 3-4 years ago. All of this was just hypothesis. We were just talking about the possibility of doing these things, of getting person to Mars, of colonies on Mars, of free Wi-Fi for all, and now it literally is. It feels like we've sped up exponentially.
Yeah, we have, and the impact that can have on so many services, necessary services, like for instance, healthcare in remote regions,
in rural
having
areas,
access to communication,
information.
That is just massive. So
empowering, man.
Go, Elon.
So let's go from up there to down there, to the deepest, darkest depths. We know that when it comes to pollution in the oceans, it's not just about the smaller or the microplastics that are floating on the surface or close to the surface when it comes to cleaning up the ocean, but a lot of the heavier materials will fall to the bottom of the ocean. And there are particular little creatures that are experts at traversing those coral reefs and those rocky depths of the ocean. I'm talking about sea urchins, okay? So they have a completely unique design when it comes to nature.
Also very spiky and very painful to step on.
Yeah, spiny, and they kind of like, they seem angry in their design. But some researchers at Harvard University have copied these complex creatures. They've got 2 movable appendages, so almost like 2 feet underneath them, moving spines, and sticky tube-like feet for gripping. So they're almost ideally designed for moving through crevices and really hard-to-reach places.
Good, cool.
So they've designed a robot built on this design dynamic that can then move across the bottom of the water. There, check it out. Bizarre, man. A little bit scary as well. When you see it move, it's a little bit freaky.
Yeah,
but the idea
a la Boston robotics, eh?
Yeah, man. Not as dangerous as the dogs.
Yeah.
That can move silently and open doors for each other. But if you woke up with one of these on your pillow, you'd freak out. But the idea being here that these will be used, obviously, to explore areas of the depths that are very difficult to reach or maybe harmful to other robots that are quite cumbersome in that space, and will ultimately then help with cleanup operations. Imagine an army of 1,000 of these little critters going, just find it, break down that plastic.
Doesn't it completely fascinate you still that there is so much of the deep blue that we haven't explored yet, and like what lies beneath?
We're about to travel maybe 100, 200,000 kilometers away from our planet, yet 1 kilometer down, we still don't know.
We haven't gotten that far yet. Imagine being able to get those visuals. Oh man. Anyway, some of the stories that have found our clickers online. Let us know what you've been exploring. Share the stories with us online. Hashtag Expresso Show when you do so.
So if you have been watching, you'll know that we've had such a blast these last few weeks, giving away the best in tech, courtesy of Dion Wired. And here's the thing, we're now unfortunately reaching the end of the road as we're down to our very last prize. So this is probably amongst the last times you'll hear us say, what time is it?
I'm a Picaboxini.
But it doesn't end on a low. Still up for grabs, we have the awesome Epson printer and Samsung tablet. It's a bundle, and it's valued at 6,499 Rand. So, if you've been itching to get your hands on this prize that's in here, but this is literally your last chance for you to do so. Remember, when you do SMS in, you are also entered into the grand prize draw to win a tech dish in a Dion Wired store with, listen to this, 100,000 Rand. That's a lot of stuff to buy.
A whole lot of stuff. Oh, man. All you need to do is SMS the keyword Dion Wired, your name and your email address to 33728. You can SMS in as much as you like to increase your chances, but do remember that SMSs are charged at R1.50. No free SMSs apply. Competition ends this Friday on the 15th of November, and all the terms and conditions can be found on expressoshow.com.
Jamie Lee, what time is it?
I'm Picaboxini.
Oh, get entering.
Dion Wired, where humans go for technology.
All right, well, we're going to have some great entertainment for you on this Wednesday morning. We've got Forever Plaid here with us in the studio, Plaid, rather, excuse me. And you guys you have a very unique way that you check your microphones, I understand?
Yes.
How do you go about it?
Testing.
Testing.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, Plaid. I think the mics are warmed up. The mics are warmed up. We'll see you after the break.
Oh, you can make my day.
science reaches for the truth. It works for the big and small, for the old and young. And with knowledge as our first ingredient, science is at the heart of our food. For differences you can see, feel, and trust. It all starts with science.
We got a lot of... We don't know what it's fine.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is a Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day. So good to be in your company. And this morning, we journey back in time when cars had enormous fins and harmonizing bands were the next big thing. And we'll be humming along with the great nostalgic pop hits of the 1950s. Ah, man, the Plaids, if you were around back in those days. And Forever Plaid is in the studio, bringing us this nostalgia. Gentlemen, a very warm welcome to Tian, Yamikani, to Musanete and Danny. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Your sound check was mind-blowing. I mean, if you close your eyes, you really? I quite enjoyed it.
I'm sorry. Oh, my face gives it away.
Tian is one of those very super perfectionist kind of musicians that if the harmony wasn't four-part like it was supposed to be, like, no, from the top, everyone. But let's talk about what you guys are doing and bringing back an era of music that perhaps isn't given enough credit, if you will. Where did the motivation to start this group come from?
Well, I mean, this is a musical comedy that we're all involved in, and the show is called Forever Plaid. Yeah. And in Forever Plaid, there is a group of 4 guys who decided they wanted to sing, but something happens to them, something tragic happens to them, and they're in an accident, and they wake up one day in limbo, and they realize they have an opportunity to do this final concert before they're whisked away into heaven, or whatever you'd like to call it. Yeah. And so they've got an audience, and the audience is there to see us do the concert we wish we always had. Wow. In current day, so you get to see us figure it out, and that's where all the comedy comes in.
I'm just planting the seed that after the show, once the production is done.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw what you did.
You know what I mean?
I saw what you did there.
And I know a lot of people who would pay a lot of money to see that happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but we get along. We really get along.
No. Like,
I mean, it took us a long time to sort of, I think, find our blend, find each other and our voice.
Very difficult music, yeah.
And I realized, actually, because you're right, once the show was done, we could actually just take this and do something. We could be like a hectic corporate company ourselves, guys. Thoughts for the future.
You're watching the beginning of a company, yeah.
Hey, 10%. Tell me about, you say it's challenging music.
Yes.
In what way is this particular era of music challenging to bring together, to find the blend and that harmony?
The harmonies are extremely close. So it's, you know, with normal 4-part harmony, you got quite a gap between the harmonies.
Yes.
But with this one, because it's so close, it's difficult to find your harmony. Sometimes you think you're singing wrong, but it's actually the right harmony.
Yeah, like the clashes are just constantly just there.
Right. Exactly. I mean, there's so many times that we're singing literally is but technical. We're singing seconds apart.
Yes.
Which is, it's difficult to try and train your ear to that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about preparing for this production and everything that it involves. It must have been a lot of fun as well.
And tears, yes.
And tears.
I used to get voice notes from him every night saying, what are we doing like this? I don't remember this song.
What is this harmony? Oh my goodness, why does it sound off? And he's like, no, don't worry, calm down, calm down. That's exactly how it should be.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's music we're not familiar with. Obviously, we're all not from the 50s. So
why did you look at me when you said that?
I just said we all not. I didn't look at anybody. I just looked at us. You see, he just gets like so triggered so quickly.
Yeah, all right, let's talk to you
But,
a little bit.
yeah.
What can viewers expect from this show? It sounds like it's just a beautiful journey of not just nostalgia, but just wonderful music as well.
Absolutely, but exactly that. Just some wonderful music. It's a really it harkens back to a more innocent time and to a. It's just sweet and innocent and beautiful.
Yeah. Tell me about the stage and the lighting and the setting. I mean, obviously, you're beautifully dressed in your tuxedos and the plaid ties and what do you call it? Was it a waist belt?
Cummerband.
A cummerband. Yeah. All right, there we go.
Found that out when we started.
Wow. What else is happening on stage and what can people expect from a staging point of view?
Yeah. Well, we have a beautiful set designed by Dennis Hutchinson. That's it, correct? Yes. And our stage and lighting, it's really exquisite.
You can expect some spectacle, definitely, as well.
Absolutely.
For certain audience members, they might have an opportunity to even come on stage with us and, you know, come to Plaid.
Oh, wow.
Maybe Ryan's Plaid, we never know.
Wow, okay, all right. I can find my 5-part harmony there somewhere. Listen, gentlemen, it's been amazing having you here thus far, and I really, really am looking forward to the music. And, of course, if you would like to experience this show, Forever Plaid, live, it is on Theatre at the Bay in Cape Town from the 6th until the 23rd of November, I believe.
Yes.
And tickets are available. Where can we get tickets, by the way?
CompuTicket.
CompuTicket.
Yeah, simple and as easy as that. Make sure that you stay tuned for a live performance coming to you soon.
Well, we're in for a treat. Forever Plaid here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a musical extravaganza. And now time for us to take a look at those movie trailers coming up with JP Sebastian once more. JP, you've piqued my attention with this one, Knives and Skin. It's got to do with a girl going missing, the reaction of her immediate community. That sounds like a rich story already. Just seeing the story being told from the outside of her family, it just sounds like something you want to be seeing.
Yeah, and it's not something that's alien to us necessarily, which is not bad. It's not, I'm saying that I haven't seen this, of course, but it's not to say that the movie's unoriginal or anything. We all grew up, weirdly enough, in South Africa, where such a story was so subversive during the bad old days. Twin Peaks was on TV, remember that, with Laura Palmer going missing. Aside from that, like I mentioned to you during the break, Gone Girl with Ben Affleck, and it was Rosamund Pike. So again, like you said, from this perspective of not from the missing themselves or from the detective chasing the person, or this, like the single atomistic type story, but how 1,000 eyes bear down on this tragic event.
And hearing the perspectives of all of these different people, seeing them.
Yeah, and your little take was interesting too. Like you said, this really feels like it mirrors, that description mirrors the way people treat travesty and trauma on social media.
Who hop into it.
Who appropriates it, who actually is constructive to that sort of discourse. And this movie then isn't just a murder thriller, but it takes a cynical look at, the scene you're looking at Nia, for example, is a mother making a missing poster that she's wants to pass out around town.
Yeah.
And her daughter's like, you spelled her name wrong. And the mother's like, I spent too much time making this. I'm not going to redo it. So
I'm guessing they're making these missing posters. Are they not set in 2019? Or is this?
So yeah, it's almost like, you know, since you mentioned social media, of course this is present day, as you can see. But the story is so timeless. It happens in small town America. It happens in any town USA type thing, which is supposed to remind you that the story is obviously kind of how almost in death a woman becomes sort of sacred to community because she's been murdered. Suddenly she becomes a poster girl. Suddenly the missing girl becomes the cheerleader, perfect sort of face of the community that they wanted to put forward the whole time. And then, you know, anyway, I'm getting too deep here, but let's just look at the pretty visuals if you like to.
Well, we've got almost like three stories coming through. If you look at the poster, for example, which you'll probably see at some point, you've got 3 different stories taking place at the same time.
Yeah, so there's discontent, obviously, in the teens who really don't like living in the small town because they feel all this sort of like, you know, this weird sort of structured oppression and the white picket fenceness, which, you know, seems to think that it had the plan in line and all this kind of thing. And then along comes this person who kidnaps this girl. How does the perfect little Pleasantville type community get fractured like that? And then all these bobs and these ruthlessness and these fangs and claws come out from the people who are left behind. As the trailer says, everyone
they feel
else
lost.
is lost.
When is it out here?
There's no date for this in SA just yet. But since this is a smaller one, we might not see this for a while, but who knows how we might be able to stream it.
We'll catch it somewhere, I'm sure. Color Out of Space is another one. Nicolas Cage, isn't it? You know?
I love this man.
That's what I'm saying.
A man who, it was like 4 movies ago, I told South Africa, yes, he's finally retired, apparently, officially.
Or so you thought.
Every actor retires officially.
But wait.
There's
another
more.
one.
Yes. Speaking of South Africans, so this is directed by Richard Stanley, and Richard Stanley is a director from a place called Fishhook.
Don't you lie to all of us right now,
I lie not
JP.
to you. Richard Stanley is sort of a cult horror movie maker from Hollywood. He did a lot of small stuff.
From Fishhook?
Yes, from Fishhook, South Africa, Cape Town. Which Hollywood on his IMDb profile spells H-O-O, Fishhook.
Fishhook.
Yes, not Fishhook. Fishhook. Richard Stanley, like I said, earned his keep, and he's placed in Hollywood in his cult-like status with a lot of small things, so it's great to see him do something with Nicolas Cage, especially after he was kind of shafted with The Island of Dr. Moreau 20 years ago. It's been hard for him to come back, but he's got a big screen movie again, and that's cool. The story is based on an H.P. Lovecraft short story, and Lovecraft might not immediately mean anything to anyone, but if you loved stuff like Alien, or more recently Annihilation with Natalie Portman, anything that deals with the horror of the unknown. Not like, oh, we know the species of the alien, this is how we kill it, or we know that it's this spook from this haunted house or whatever. But these characters now, again, in small town America, sedentary little town, the author thought that he was just going to retire peacefully. No, a meteorite hits his front yard, sinks into the earth. It just seems like it's a little tiny space phenomenon, but then suddenly the flowers start blooming, life around the house starts mutating, and what he thought was just going to be blissful retirement days, Nicolas Cage gets dial it up
filled with activity.
Dial it up to 11, get a shotgun, and scream like a weirdo, as we love so much in every other movie. Yes, there he goes.
That scene, you see that sort of scene in every film.
Classical
like that.
Cage losing his mind.
Oh, man.
Yeah, nouveau shamanic is his style of acting. I didn't make that up, that he actually believes is not. Nicolas Cage doesn't do method acting like, you know, Daniel Day-Lewis does. He made up a style of acting called nouveau shamanic. So I'm so blessed, and I feel so happy to see Nicolas Cage again present to us another tour de force of nouveau shamanic. What does that mean, Nick?
We get to see it once again. You don't have to know what it means. You have to witness it, experience it. No one knows what it is, but it's provocative.
With Nick Cage, it's always the fear of the unknown, I think.
And that's the thing.
He's been a Lovecraftian man his whole life. It all makes sense now.
It's all coming together. When can we expect this one out in SA?
Again, unfortunately, in SA, no date yet, even for our Fishhook director. But it's got sometime early next year for the United States.
Well, there you have it. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Let us know your thoughts. Are you excited to see Nicolas Cage making his, what it seems like, a return? JP Sebastian.
He's on retirement, and Richard Stanley's back. Let's go look that guy up.
Bring home more than just memories of Mauritius with Club Med's all-inclusive holiday packages for families, friends and active couples. Choose from 3 Club Med Mauritius resorts and save up to 15% on your December 2019 booking with their early booking bonus. Extra bonus, kids under 12 stay free in Mauritius and fly free on Air Mauritius. Contact the agency by Club Med to book and visit clubmed.co.za for details.
Birthday, did you guys have a version, the birthday version?
Love is a many splendored thing. It's the April rose that only grows in the early spring. Love is nature's way of giving, a reason to be living, a golden crown that makes a man a king. Once on a high and windy hill, in the morning mist, 2 others. Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
No, that's not us. That's not us. No. We don't know that. Just look at you can actually do that. You can pull that harmony off.
I mean, take the...
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
No. Happy birthday to you.
No.
Oh my gosh. Go happy birthday.
Yeah, let's do the happy birthday.
7.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Feel it in your bones. It's your birthday. Hopefully you're feeling like the most special human being on the planet. If not, hopefully we can get you there with some beautiful birthday dedications. We love it when you send through videos, and that's exactly what you've done this morning. In fact, this one coming from Layla, and it's going to Billy Wallace on his 69th birthday. Take a look. Oh my goodness. It's a Smurf. Get out.
Happy birthday, Papa!
It's a Smurf. It's a little Smurf come to life. That is so cute. Layla, you are a superstar, you sweet, sweet thing. Then we've got another message coming through. Happy birthday to my husband, Leon. Thank you for the wonderful 29 years of marriage. I feel so proud to be your wife. Lots of love, hugs and kisses from your wife, children and grandchildren. That's coming to you from Keshlin, Kaylin and Leshwan. Happy birthday, Leon.
Yeah, and then we got Marua Fondling. I wish my friend a very happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. I love you from Benita. Look at that biker.
On the bike, yeah. Cool, man.
And then a first birthday to the sweetest one-year-old little girl I know, my niece Zaria. Wow, it's hard to believe that today you are 1 year old. May God bless you with all the most wonderful things in life, little. Okay.
Because she's
I get you. Lots of hugs and kisses, Zaria. I don't know who that is from, but oh, my niece.
Happy birthday, Zaria. And then we'd like to wish Ursula Moodley an amazing 50th birthday. That's a milestone. Stay blessed always. We love you and appreciate everything you do for us. That's coming to you from the entire Moodley family. And then another big milestone. Happy 17th birthday to Sergio Bonaparte. I wish you many more of God's richest blessings for today and always. And that's from your mom, your dad, your grandparents, Sylvia and Clive, all your cousins, all your aunties, Almo,
the Yellow family. And then a happy 47th birthday to my sister, Baby Kumalo. Have a wonderful day, my sister. Look at that hat.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
And then a happy birthday to beautiful Nkobile. We wish you many more happy years to come, and we love you. That is probably from your family, because everybody loves you, Nkobile.
Nkobile. It's taken me about 5 years to get that right. Then I'd like to wish my handsome son Joshua a happy birthday. May God bless and grant you good health and keep you safe from all harm. We love you lots, my baby. That's from Mummy, Daddy, and Anisha. Happy birthday, Joshua. Then also a very happy birthday to my lovely husband, Pumzile Setane. May this day be the beginning of another beautiful year for you, and that's coming from your wife, Piliwe Sentane.
A very happy birthday to Lucille Bennett as well. Thank you for always feeding us. That's very important. Fighting for us and making us laugh. Thank you for being the best mother in the world. We love you dearly from all your children. Nicole sent that through. And then this is for Shayna May. Time seems to have flown by very fast. Just the other day you could barely stand, and now I get to watch you run the world. May God surround you with his mercy and encompass you with his abundant grace. Happy 6th birthday, Shayna May, from Mommy, Daddy, and brother.
And one more we can squeeze in. A very happy birthday to my mom, Laika, the best person on the planet, full stop. Thank you for existing in my life. I hope today turns out amazing for you. I'll try to make sure that it does. I love you lots, Mom. I'm assuming that's from a daughter or a son. Laika, happy birthday. And you can, of course, send through those videos. Please send through a cute overload like later this morning. You can WhatsApp us that video to 0716406551. Now, if you thought our birthday jingle was cool, how about we try to do it live right now? I don't know if they can. We've thrown them into the deep end. Gentlemen, can we get a happy birthday?
Okay, sweetie, time to blow out your candles.
Don't ruin the moment. Prevent allergies or cold and flu with fast-acting powder nasal spray from the Nexa range. Nexa, brought to you by Pharmacodynamics.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Expresso family. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Expresso family. Happy birthday to you.
Absolutely beautiful. At 7 o'clock, let's take a look at those news headlines. The Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in KwaZulu-Natal has activated councillors and volunteers to assist affected communities after a tornado hit New Hanover yesterday out in Pietermaritzburg. That happened yesterday afternoon. The tornado ripped through the area, injuring scores of people, damaging homes and public infrastructure, uprooted trees and interrupted electricity supply. Heavy rainfall totals have been, or rather high rainfall totals have been recorded across KwaZulu-Natal, and more showers are expected today. The South African Weather Service says accumulated rainfall amounts for tomorrow and Friday could exceed 100 to 150 millimeters in places such as KwaZulu-Natal or over KwaZulu-Natal. Communications and Digital Technologies Minister Stella Ndabeni-Abraham says that to fully leverage on the fourth industrial revolution, the African continent needs to ensure all digital strategies are people-centered so that they are not left behind. Ndabeni-Abraham said that this, she said when she addressed a session on the fourth industrial revolution at the AfricaCom conference in Cape Town's International Convention Center yesterday. She said this as several experts in the digital space had warned that with the advent of new fourth industrial revolution jobs, many old jobs are at risk of becoming redundant. In international headlines, queues formed outside banks in Zimbabwe yesterday as people hoped to get hold of the country's first Zimbabwean dollar notes to be issued since 2009. The currency was scrapped a decade ago because of hyperinflation when prices were almost doubling every day. Zimbabwe's central bank hopes that the new notes will ease a severe cash shortage as the country suffers a deepening economic crisis. The bank has played down fears that the move will fuel further inflation. Currently, inflation is thought to be about 300% over in Zimbabwe. Former Bolivian President Evo Morales said last night, and as he arrived in Mexico City, asking for asylum because he said that his life was in danger. Morales resigned on Sunday after weeks of protests over a disputed presidential election result. The Mexican jet carrying him landed at an airport in Mexico City, where he held a brief media conference. He said he was forced to stand down, but did so willingly so there would be no more bloodshed. And finally, the Port Elizabeth branch of SANCOB yesterday announced that its state-of-the-art swimming pool to help rehabilitate seabirds is nearly completed. Funds raised so far will help subside its cost, and the hope was expressed that people would continue to donate to bring expenses down. The completion of the pool is great news, as almost 1 million oiled, ill, injured or abandoned endangered African penguins have been treated in PE since 1968. The new structure will also provide more space for birds for day-to-day seabird conservation work, as well as accommodate an improved flow of seabirds undergoing rehabilitation. The center is situated in the Cape Recife Nature Reserve and serves as a marine bird rehabilitation and education center. SANCOB is a non-profit organization. That's where we leave it for now. Here's Graham with a look at your sports.
Thanks so much, T. Rugby still dominating our headlines at the moment, and that's where we start. This morning, 9 current and former Springboks have all been included in the Barbarian squad for the November tour, where they will face Fiji, Brazil, and of course our semi-final opponents from the World Cup, Wales. Now, 6 other players join the Rugby World Cup winning trio of Makazola Mapimpi, Tendai Beestam Twararira, and Lucanio Am. Bok veterans Mornay Steyn and Jano Vermaak have been included in the squad, alongside Sharks backs Corbin Bosch and Andre Esterhazen. Dylan Lates and Mark van Staden will also represent the Barbarians. They face off against Fiji at Twickenham on Saturday. And staying with rugby, South African rugby player Cobus van Wyk has now signed for New Zealand Super Rugby franchise, the Hurricanes, after previously playing for local sides the Stormers and the Sharks. The 27-year-old van Wyk, who can play both in the midfield and out on the wing, will be a replacement for Matt Proctor, who has left the team for the Northampton Saints in the UK. So the 2020 Super Rugby season will kick off on Friday the 31st of January next year. Then great news on the track. Paralympic athlete Renee Veus won South Africa's first gold medal at the 2019 World Para-Athletics Championships, currently taking place in Dubai. Veus won the women's 400-meter T47 event, setting a record time of 55.79 seconds in the process. Some other results saw fellow South Africans Cheryl James came bronze in the 400-meter event, and Pumelelo Mhlongo breaking his own world record in the 100-meter race to claim the silver medal. That was behind Germany's Johannes Flors. Then on to tennis. Tennis world #1 ranked Rafa Nadal was outplayed by ATP finals defending champion Alexander Zverev, going down in straight sets 6-2, 6-4 in the opening round-robin match. And third seed Roger Federer, he beat Italy's Matteo Berrettini 7-6, 6-3 in the ATP finals in London. So Nadal will face world #4 Daniil Medvedev today, and the 20-time Grand Slam winner Federer, he'll go head-to-head with the second seed Novak Djokovic tomorrow in a cracker. Then finally onto motorsport. Red Bull Racing has now confirmed that the Wunderkind Thai British racing driver Alexander Albon will be the teammate of Max Verstappen for the 2020 season, starting in March next year. So Albon was this year promoted to the Red Bull team after driver Pierre Gasly was demoted to their junior Toro Rosso team. And since joining Red Bull, the 23-year-old Albon has finished in the top 6 in every race and even outscored Verstappen by 19 points. So I think the writing was on the wall. That's where we leave our sport for now.
Thank you, Sir G-Man, for that sports update. Now let's take a look at what's happening on the roads in KwaZulu-Natal, Durban. In the CBD, there are several roads affected by damaged trees and a lot of branches obstructing the road is blocked. Please approach with caution. Now moving on to Metro Rail Southern Line, there's a service recovery underway following earlier sand on tracks between Clow Valley and Fishhook. Trains on the Simonstown lane will operate as scheduled using platform #1 at Muizenberg, Kalk Bay and Fishhook. East London, where partly sunny conditions are expected with a heavy shower towards the evening and nice warm temperatures reaching a maximum of 25 degrees. Now let's take a look at the rest of the country. Thunderstorms can be expected for Polokwane with a low of 18, reaching a maximum of 24. Umbumbela with 19, 25. Pretoria 16, 28. And thunderstorms are expected for Johannesburg with an all low of 15, peaking at 27. High humidity for Mahikeng with a low of 16. 16, reaching a maximum of 30. A couple of showers for Klerksdorp with 16, 30. Kimberley, 13, 32. Bloemfontein, 12, 30. And heavy rainfall for Richards Bay with a low of 19 and a high of 29. A couple of showers for Pietermaritzburg, 16, 26. So get that jacket out. Durban, 20, 25. Heavy rainfall for Mthatha with a low of 14 and a high of 21. East London, 17, 25. Craddock, 9, 25. And a southwesterly wind of 33 kilometers per hour for Port Elizabeth with a low of 16 and a high of 22. So hold on to that hats. George, 15, 18. And the lowest temperature in the country can be found in Sutherland with an all low of 5, peaking at 21. Cape Town, Mother City, 16, 24. And occasional rain for Worcester with a low of 10 and a high of 24. Springbok, 12, 29. And the highest temperature in the country is for Uppington with a low of 16, peaking at 32. Whatever you choose to do today, make it count.
Well, this morning we're humming along to the sounds of the nostalgic 1950s with the production Forever Plaid that is on at Theatre on the Bay until the 23rd of November. Get your tickets, but this morning for your listening pleasure, the cast is here, and here they are performing Love is a Many Splendid Thing.
Here's a many splendid thing. It's the April rose that only grows in the early spring. Love is nature's way of giving a reason to be living, a golden crown that makes a man a king. Once on a high and windy hill, in the morning mist, two lovers kissed and the world stood still. Then your fingers touched my silent heart and taught it how to sing. Yes, true love, a many splendid thing. Once on a high and windy hill, in the morning mist, two lovers kissed and the world stood still. Then your fingers touched my silent heart and taught it how to sing. Yes, true love's a many splendid thing.
Absolutely stunning. Thank you very much, gents. Beautiful stuff. So that's what you can expect and a whole lot more when you make your way to Theatre on the Bay. The show is on now until the 23rd of November and tickets are available at CompuTicket. It's called Forever Plaid. Make sure that you check it out. Look at that, some of the beautiful scenes there. What was happening in that moment there? Please describe that.
Well, I was getting a nosebleed.
That's where we first see the audience.
Where we realize we're back on Earth.
We're on stage.
And the harmonies are so intense, people get nosebleeds. It's actually quite pleasurable to listen to. We'll be looking forward to more songs from you later on. In the meantime, link up with us on our Expresso Morning Show, SABC3 Facebook page, and let us know what you thought about that wonderful performance.
Clover Crush, 100% pure fruit juice packed with vitamins and no added sugar. Crush your daily goodness. Now also available in long life.
Support Crush in giving away another 20,000 pairs of school shoes to children in need. Buy a Crush, dial the number on the pack, and stand the chance to win your share of 500,000 Rand. Hashtag share the goodness. Made with love by Clover.
Family planning is essential in our modern society. With appropriate family planning and aftercare for the little ones, mothers can make sure that they have the resources, the love and the time to take care of their families. Michelle Deves, retail leader for Medicare, is here to chat to us about the importance of family planning and what steps you can take to ensure that you raise a stable, happy and loving family. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Leanne. Lovely to be here today.
I'm so excited because I know that Medicare offers a whole range of services when it comes to women, when it comes to mothers. But what are the services when it comes to women that are yet to become moms?
So I just wanted to let you know that every one of our clinics has got family planning.
Wonderful.
Yes, which is amazing. And I'm going to be a little bit biased here. I think our clinics are the best clinics in the country in terms of retail clinics. We do offer all the different types of family planning choices in our clinics. So we do have the injection, we have oral contraceptive, we also have the patch. And what makes it even more convenient for moms these days and for ladies that are wanting to have family planning in their lives is that we have our video med doctors in our clinics, and they can prescribe the medication to them as well as give us repeat scripts, which is fantastic.
I love that.
Yes.
And I know that Medicare kind of walks a journey for you once you become a mom as well. They walk this journey with you. What are some of the comprehensive services that's on offer?
You know, with Medicare, we do have this, we are a one-stop shop. So when you come into our store, we offer everything for the mum and for the baby. So if you look at our clinics, we offer a full comprehensive immunization service, as well as we also look at our baby's milestones. And then looking at our front shop, we offer all the products that a mum would need before, while she's pregnant and after she's pregnant. So as a mum, you really want to feel good before. And then while you're pregnant especially, we have a comprehensive range of pregnancy vitamins. And then afterwards, we all know that after having a baby, you feel a little bit down and you want to feel great. So then we also have great products there in our front shop to make her feel good, have a little bit of a bubble bath, feel fantastic.
Oh, I love it. Medicare often speaks of great value. What does this include for mom and baby?
You know, the great value journey is it's quite well spoken about in the marketplace at the moment. So we've decided to offer something a little bit different in terms of great value. So we have a comprehensive range in terms of what we offer with great value. So for our babies, we've put together these bundles to make life convenient for the mums. So when you come into our store, you walk down the aisle into the baby department, and you'll see I need a nappy, I need a bum cream, I need something, I need food, and it's all there put together beautifully for you, as well as it is obviously we are going to come out at the best price in the market. And then over and above that, we do offer a great value on our Pampers nappies.
Wow.
So nappies are very much a promotional line, but what we've decided to do is to offer the mum great value. We've said every day you can buy Pampers nappies for the cheapest in the market at $1.99.
Oh my goodness! And we all know that nappies
are really
so
expensive.
necessary.
Yes.
So when it comes to great value, it really is wonderful to know that you're kind of meeting moms
Absolutely.
at that price point that they need to be met at. Oh, Michelle, thank you so much for being here, and of course for making this journey of becoming a mom such a fun one.
Thank you, Leanne.
Oh, well, there we go. Thank you to Michelle for joining us, and we've learned so much. Childbirth and raising a family is certainly not for the faint-hearted. All the moms and dads out there know, so big ups to all of the super moms out there, and thanks to Medicare for their care and support. Medicare, reinventing pharmacy for you.
So now what? And of course, as always, we consult with our friend and expert lawyer from legalese.co.za, Eitan Stern. Thanks very much for joining us this morning, man. Today's question is, I have been requested to make child payments. So now what? So we'll be focusing on what your legal rights and recourses are when it comes to paying child maintenance. Very, very important topic, especially in lieu of what we were just talking about now, family planning and such things as those.
Absolutely. So for me, when you think of child maintenance, it always comes with a negative stigma or the drama behind it. But let's take it back a bit. What exactly is child maintenance and when is it applicable?
Okay, so it does have this very negative stigma to it, but what people must remember is that child maintenance exists whenever you have a child, you have a duty of care in the law to that child. So we always think of child maintenance when we're talking about divorce, where one parent has to pay. But child maintenance exists from the moment you have a child, whether you're married or not. And the parents have an obligation to look after that child and maintain that child. And that is giving them food, shelter, education, safety, etc. And so what people must remember is that a duty exists, whether there's a divorce or not. All parents have a duty to maintain that child.
And I think we've also got to just also bring it to the understanding that, at the end of the day, the child didn't ask to be in this world. They were brought into this world, and that's, I guess also part of the bigger scope of what child maintenance laws intend.
Yes, exactly. So all over the world, we have child maintenance laws, and over, say, the past probably 50, 60 years, even less, there's been a kind of change in the way the law world over and UN laws view maintenance of a child. So the laws kind of, in some way, used to see children as property of parents. Now the laws are much more focused around parents having a duty to look after the child and to raise children up to be, safe and secure and live the best lives that they can live. And world over, we've seen the laws around children change in that regard. So South African laws, the South African Constitution protects the rights of children, creates this duty of care that parents have to maintain children, and we see the same thing the world over. The laws are all there. Child maintenance laws exist so that people know that if you have a child, you have a real responsibility to look after that child.
Absolutely. Now, it always seems as if the mother is asking payment from the father. Does it apply both ways?
Yes, 100%. It's a great question. So we only see it as the father as applying to the father because that's the kind of stereotypical way that families are set up, that the mother's the primary caregiver and the father's the primary breadwinner. But that's not the case in all families at all, and it's certainly not the case in the law. Both parents have a duty of care, and the primary caregiver is going to be the one who's putting in the time and effort, in the day-to-day and looking after the child. And if you're not the primary caregiver, then you substitute your duty of care financially. But both parents certainly have it, and if the child lives with the father, then the mother would have the duty to pay.
Yeah. In many, many sad cases, I think the most common grievance is that though legally obliged to pay child maintenance, some parents fail to do so.
Yes.
No matter what the circumstances. But like I said, it's a very, very sad situation indeed. Can you avoid paying? In any way?
Yeah, well, I mean, so payments is a tough thing. People avoid paying all the time, all sorts of things. In the law, can you avoid paying? No, you're not supposed to. And if you have a duty to pay and you don't, then the other parent can take you to the child maintenance office or to the court, and they can get a court order to force you to pay. And the courts can award a number of different things to try to force you to pay. They can blacklist you from credit. They can even send you to jail. They can make you pay a fine. They can attach your assets like your car or your home, and the courts will do everything in their power to make sure that someone who has a duty to look after a child does its job.
Yeah. Very, very importantly so. A very important topic. If you have any questions to send to us, please do so. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, and we'll be back again in a moment figuring out So Now What with lawyer Eitan Stern. Stay tuned. There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. Buy any size and your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker. Then follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily prizes of airtime, cash, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, steam dishwashers, Caribbean tan hampers, or guest watches. That's more than 100,000 prizes.
Tropica, nothing smoother.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast or Expresso on SABC3. It's a Wednesday morning and we're continuing our discussion with lawyer and director at Legal Ease, Eitan Stern, about what your legal rights are when it comes to paying child maintenance. And as you were saying, you dealt with some of these cases earlier on in your career, and it's a completely very, very sad state of affairs.
It's very sad.
This even needs to be a discussion.
Yes, the lawyers that are out there that deal with family law, they have a very special place in heaven that's reserved for them, because it's very tough work, it's very serious work. Someone's got to do it, and the matters are quite sad. Parents out there, I suppose when you have a child, you must just remember there's a real an obligation to keep it all together.
Yeah.
You said the obligation. Now, if the parent does not pay, what are some of the institutions or the consequences that that parent face?
Okay, so you know, they can, as I said before, they can go to jail, they can be fined, they can be blacklisted from getting credit. So the law views it quite seriously if you don't pay.
Yeah. So let's talk about steps. If you're in a position where you are the parent who's taking care of the child and the other parent is not contributing, though obliged to do so in law terms, you haven't first taken legal steps, what can you do? What is the right kind of process to follow?
So if the process would be to approach the court, the maintenance office or the courts, and they are the ones that can try take action. If you're in a situation where you have an obligation to pay maintenance and you suddenly can't afford it, you can also go back to the court and apply for your maintenance to be lowered. The courts may or may not agree, and if the person who is looking after the child needs more money, they can also approach the courts and ask the courts to relook at it and try get more money awarded. So it can be something which can be changed over time, but it's the courts that are the kind of guardians of it. Of course, parents can also, without going to courts, they can also just agree and you know, act like adults and agree. So that is possible, although it's rare.
Now, does the obligation ever end? Because I know with some people, they're like, 18, it's done, it's off you're off my hands, but does it ever end?
For sure. So the obligation does end when a child reaches the age of majority, or when the child can look after themselves. So there is a point where the obligation ends. And what's quite interesting is that at some point in life, the obligation also does flip around. So us as children, when our parents get to when they get to the age that they can't look after themselves, children in some instances have a duty of care to look after their parents, or the closest relatives to the parents will have the same duty to look after their parents, which is the great, beautiful circle of life.
Let's talk about the other monetary obligations that parents do have towards their children.
Sure. The other monetary or non-monetary?
Let's discuss both.
Okay, so you know, when it comes to monetary, like money is just the vessel in order to maintain a child. If families don't have money, it doesn't mean they can't look after their child. There's lots of ways to look after a child, which aren't monetary. So parents must do whatever they can to look after the children. And if money's an issue, my suggestion is probably have less kids or don't have kids. But you know, parents need to make sure that they have enough to look after their children. For non-monetary, you know, the duties are quite widespread, and it's quite an involved thing. And parents do have a lot of duties to make sure that their children are housed and sheltered and get education and clothed. And the duties are quite widespread. So you know, it's really, really important for us to know that once we have a child, I keep reiterating it, it is your responsibility to make sure that child survives and lives a good life. And
when it comes to disputes of that nature, of deciding that this is the monetary value that is deserving to take care of this child and another parent is disagreeing, who gets to decide whether you want this much, 1,000 Rand versus 100,000 Rand per month in order to take care of a child?
So traditionally, it's a really interesting question, and traditionally, you know, ideally, parents could just decide it themselves. Where they can't decide, traditionally, parents go to a court, and the courts decide. And we live in a culture where there's quite often disputes where both parties get a lawyer and suddenly have to, you know, land up fighting in court with the children being dragged through it all. And that's kind of become the norm in how these things are resolved. But it's really important to remember there are other options. You know, there's collaborative lawyers out there, there's mediatory lawyers, and there's, you know, all that has to happen is, it's, at the end of the day, it's the parent's decision. Two parents have to make a plan to make it work for this child, if you know, whether they're in a relationship or they're not. They can choose to go to courts and fight, but there are other, you know, options in order to resolve disputes without fighting that are a lot less traumatic for the children involved. So it's really, you know, if you're a parent out there and you're going through a divorce, I would really recommend looking at mediation or collaborative lawyers in order to figure that out, because, you know, it's going to be a lot cheaper than fighting in courts, and it's going to be less traumatic for the child.
Yeah. And for the family unit as a whole, you know, because that has its own effects and consequences. Great advice there.
Sure.
Thank you very much. And if you're looking to investigate more and learn more about these topics and the ones that we've discussed before, visit legalese.co.za and also check them out on social media at Lawyers of Legalese.
All right, let's proclaim it. Summertime means bright time, baby, and that's exactly what we're about to do today. Well, sort of. Today we are making some bride banana boats. Sounds interesting, sounds a little nostalgic. We're going to be serving it with Clover Classic Custard, lashings of Clover Classic Custard. Perfect filling or topping for any array of dessert, really. But here to show us how to do it is our Teresa, who's brought a whole host of cool little ingredients that we're going to cram into our little banana boats. It's cute. It's interesting, and let's get real here. Few things caramelize as beautifully on the braai as a banana.
Absolutely, and there's loads of yummy stuff that we're going to put inside.
We're going to fill our little boat and let it set sail into our mouths, and we're going to eat it. And you can scoop it out as you see. It looks beautiful.
Yes, lovely.
At the end result, but where do we start? So what's the first thing we do?
So first thing we're going to do is cut our bananas. So two raw bananas, keep the peel on.
Okay.
And what you want to do is cut it on this side, the concave side.
On the scoopy side, okay.
Scoopy side, yes. Right, so I'm going to cut these, and then obviously don't cut through the bottom peel.
Cool.
Just keep that intact. Nice sharp knife.
So from bow to stern, you're actually like aft of the banana, because you're obviously wanting to get as much space in there so you can cram in as much as
possible. Yeah.
But you want it to kind of retain its shape. But you are going to have your tin foil to kind of hold it all together.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So I'm going to do one, and you're going to do one.
Thank you so much.
And we've got lots of options. I mean, you really can use your favorite things. We've got chocolate, biscuits, nuts,
You mean I
sauce.
get to decide right now what's going into my little banana boat?
Whatever you want.
Oh, yay.
So you pull it open. Don't pull it all the way. Just
don't tear it, just create
obviously,
a space.
the more space you have, the more
filling you can get in, for sure.
You have in. So I'm going to crush some biscuits.
Okay. I'm going to start with a bit of caramel.
Yum. Caramel and banana.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Such a great combo. I'm going to go for some chocolate.
Excuse my
just
technique.
Pop it in there. Anything goes. I mean.
No, completely. I don't know. I always overload things like this. I don't want to go too.
Get some marshmallows in there.
Definitely. I'm going to get some peanuts.
I'm going for a bit of a s'mores vibe here.
Yeah, I can see. That's very cool.
Chocolate, marshmallow.
Some peanuts. I love a roasted peanut. That's one of my favorite things.
Delicious. Yeah.
I'm just going to put a few little shards.
Bit of everything. I think I'm going to add more chocolate. There we go.
Yummy.
And you could put all of it out, and your guests could actually do their own.
Yeah, that's actually really cute.
Customize their bananas.
And then
so look at that.
Miniature.
Yum.
Yours looks great. So I think mine might even look better.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see the end result. That's spectacular. Okay.
Very good. Oh, that's fully
no
loaded.
one gets left behind. Get in there.
Right, so we've got some foil here. So you're going to pop it in your foil.
Okay, let me try and...
You can wrap it up completely, or you can just sort of bunch it up around the edges just to keep it together.
Okay.
If you keep it open, then you can actually see what's happening inside, and you can see the melting process and how far along it is.
So the key...
Yeah.
I was just going to say the keyword here is clover. I think your boat's a bit better than mine, but I get the idea there. The keyword is clover. You SMS that to 33728, and we'll send you the ingredients list. And
so pop that on the braai for about 10 minutes. You can also put it in the oven. Just keep an eye on it.
Yum.
So naturally, your banana skins are going to go black.
Brown.
That's not a problem.
That's fine.
Don't worry about that.
Because you're going to scoop it out beautifully. It's going to come out really easily.
So the banana is going to be warm and caramelized. Your filling's going to be melted.
You know what, we'll round this off. Maybe I would think some beautiful clover cream and a little bit of our Clover Classic Custard. Unique recipe. We know that source of vitamins A, B2 and D, known for being the creamy taste that takes you back. And this is quite a nostalgic thing. I remember banana boats being very much attached to my childhood.
Yes,
So should we finish this off with a little bit of cream? Okay, I'll hold it. You do the creaming. There we go. And while we do this, you can take a look at how we created these beautiful banana boats.
Clover Classic Custard, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover. In the mood for a sweet treat on the braai, a bride banana boat is the perfect post-dinner treat, especially if you serve it with lashings of Clover Classic Custard. Grab some bananas and slice them open lengthways. And add your favorite sweet fillings from chocolate to peanut butter. There are no rules. Next, wrap each banana in foil, creating a boat shape and leaving a gap at the top. And braai over moderate coals for about 10 minutes. Remove from the braai and then the foil, then serve with dollops of Clover Classic Custard. Find your inner child and surprise your friends with these fun Clover banana boats at your next braai. The secret is in the custard.
Made with love by Clover.
Made with love by Clover and us. Look at that. We've added a little bit of whipped cream. We've thrown a few more marshmallows into the mix there. Really use this as an opportunity to have fun with the kids. I think this is where it could really be an awesome way of approaching your braai. Teresa, absolutely spectacular stuff. Well done. That is our banana boat explosion. And if you need an excuse to go camping with your kids, then this is it. The banana is sweet. It's going to be smoky from the braai. And of course, the Clover Classic Custard is going to be creamy and smooth. The perfect balance. And you can SMS that keyword Clover to 33728 if you want to get your hands on this recipe. It's going to cost you just R1.50. No free SMSs apply.
Clover Classic Custard, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
Oh, man, amidst the week of celebration that has been all around the country, devastating news broke yesterday of the tornado that ripped through a part of the KZN on Tuesday evening, destroying parts of an electrical plant or an electricity plant in a time where our country just really can't afford something like this. And of course, you think about the lives that have been impacted by this as well, the people who are affected by this. We send our prayers and our heartfelt thoughts out to everyone who is impacted by this. There's been footage that's been circulating all across social media of this devastating tornado that you could see there. Drivers recording with their phones that spotted this tornado in the KZN making its way through New Hanover before colliding with an electrical facility, and plumes of smoke and debris could be seen in the background, and visible structural damage as well that's been done. And the weather services did warn of further thunderstorms that could arise in the KZN region. And so to everyone out there, we urge you to please be careful, be on the lookout, look for safety. And we really wish that this, and hope that this does take a turn for the better. And this is crazy, the kind of world that we're living in right now. And
I mean, you can't believe that this sort of thing is happening in South Africa.
Right.
I mean, of course, we've seen many times when parts of the world have suffered this sort of natural disaster, but to see it unfold in this way right here in KZN is absolutely shocking. And it speaks to a lot of things. It speaks to, of course, that, you know, times are changing. Global warming is real, one. And so we are thinking of all of those people who are affected right now. We're thinking of all of the families. Like what Kat said, do seek shelter. If you feel that you are in a bit of a vulnerable space or vulnerable area, speak to your local authorities and see where it is that you can go.
And
help
perhaps
is out there.
A chance for us to get together as a country once again to show that we are stronger together in helping those that are in need right now.
Every day, brave young kids around our country fight their own private battle against cancer. To show them that other kids and families have got their back, a portion of the proceeds from every NutriKids product sold will go to secure the next Clover NutriKids Choc Home in Port Elizabeth. A support base where children undergoing treatment and their families are accommodated, supported and given a fighting chance against cancer.
I don't bless the day I found you, no, not much. I don't need you like the stars don't need the sky. I won't love you longer than the day I die. You don't please me when you squeeze me, no, not much. My head's the lightest from your very slightest touch. Baby, if you ever go, could I take it? Maybe so. But would I like it? No, not much.
Guess what? Courtesy of Dion Wired, we have new prizes for you. Up for grabs is an Epson printer and Samsung tablet bundle, a Nintendo Switch Lite, and a super stylish Smeg toaster and kettle combo. Simply SMS the keyword Dion Wired, your name and email address to 33728 to win. Plus, when you SMS in, you are entered into the grand prize draw to win a Tech Dash in a Dion Wired worth 100,000 Rand. Winning has never been so easy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in on this hump day. It's Wednesday. We're freewheeling to the weekend from here on out. We just are. But of course, freewheeling till the end of the month. It's a big one when it comes to shopping and scoring the best insane deals. Black Friday is the day on the calendar that we all look forward to. It can get intense. This year, Black Friday will fall on the 29th of November, so mark it down. And whilst we all start drawing up our wish list, and many of the Black Friday deals require quick decisions if you don't want to miss out. And this sense of urgency is exactly what gets card holders into trouble, whether through overspending, neglecting basic card safety, or falling for scams, and there will be many. So courtesy of Nedbank, we've got some pretty solid safety tips for you to pay and to play it safe this Black Friday. Who wants to kick us off?
Yeah, you need to make sure that you kind of have your notepad out and your pen, because you need to take some notes, or just make sure that you make some mental notes of these very, very important notes.
Out.
Here's the first one. It's got to do with your card pin. It sounds like an obvious one, but you simply do not ever, under no circumstances, no situation, no environment, give out your PIN to anyone. When you are at the ATM, always remember this, and I've seen so many times people standing right behind you. Always make sure you try and hide your PIN.
I'll give you a vibe if you're too close to be at
I mean, I always try and give you a vibe, but how much of a vibe can you give someone? The best you can do, and the best vibe you can do, besides the side eye, is to really just protect your PIN and keep it safe. So make sure the person behind you isn't looking at your PIN. And remember this, if you're out shopping during this Black Friday or any other time, under no circumstances should a cashier ask you for your PIN. They'll never ask for your PIN. They'll never ask to punch it in for you.
Online, you should never be asked for it, nothing.
Absolutely nowhere. So don't write it down. Don't say it out loud to anyone. Always keep your PIN safe and protected.
That's a big one, and I've learned this the hard way, because I actually had to cancel one of my cards because it got cloned, and someone tried online. Luckily, Nedbank picked it up before the transaction had the fraudulent transaction had been completed, and they contacted me, thankfully. So thank you, guys. But someone tried to do a massive transaction on a website, a sales website. But don't give your card to anyone. Gone are the days of you needing to give a cashier your card. It should stay in your pocket. These days, all you have to do is either swipe, plug it in yourself, or tap. Or there are even other ways of paying now, obviously, with our phones and a myriad of other ways. But that card never leaves your hand. It is quite easy to clone a card at the moment, and you just don't know. So, and obviously online, it makes it a lot safer. But the same thing with them phishing for card details. Just be careful of where you're putting your card details. So think of it in a real sense and in a virtual sense. Protect your card. protect your card number.
Yeah.
People, once they've got your card number, and especially if they can get your security code, then you're done and dusted. That's all they need for an online transaction. So just govern it. Really, really protect it.
But also, if you do lose your card, make sure you cancel it immediately. Cancel it. So don't lose it and then a fortnight later find it and say, oh, I found it now. No, block it immediately.
Yeah.
I think my tip is, and it comes with public, because everything now is so easy. You just tap it, scan it, everything is on your phone.
Yeah.
However, it's also connecting to the Wi-Fi and public Wi-Fi. I was in Mexico, and it was exactly the same thing. I was in Mexico, and so everyone was using the same Wi-Fi. And I just was swiping using my phone. Next thing I know, also cloned. People was just buying online. Cancel immediately because I was connected to a public Wi-Fi. So make sure that you do it at home.
I did that when I was in Spain. I used to think, and I think I went onto my banking app via.
Yeah, so make sure that when you have a safe network to connect to at home, not standing in the shopping mall or wherever.
Yeah.
And that is the best tip I could give you guys.
Well, there's so many ways for us to pay these days that really card safety has, one, become very important, but two, it just means there's absolutely no reason to fall for all of these scams. You just need to be so much more vigilant and pay attention.
So are you going after something on Black Friday? Do you have a particular thing that you want?
Yes, I would like the brand new Samsung Fold that we had the other day.
Really?
Absolutely.
Mr. Yun, we must go, Mr. Yun.
So I'm waiting for the next phase of them to come up because it's quite a coveted thing. Are you?
I would like a house on Black Friday. Do we get houses on Black Friday?
No, I don't think you
I wouldn't be surprised. I actually wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not looking for anything specific. What are you looking for? I know you're shopping around.
I'm thinking of a new pram. A little travel system. That's my vibe. So
get a dad.
Whatever you are looking for, pay it safe this Black Friday, please, and shop wisely. Make sure that you protect yourself. And let us know on social media what safety tips you will be implementing when you enter the Black Friday madness, because it will get crazy. I'd love to hear from you.
Well, perhaps for Black Friday, all you want is a delicious meal, which you can make in your very own home. We all love a scrumptious roast chicken with those 7 colors. And now we're going to be giving this a midweek twist, courtesy of Clem Pedro. Of course, good to have you here. So we've been using this beautiful multi-fry, DeLonghi multi-fry, for this past week, or past 2 days at least. You've been showing us the wonders of what this machine can do and how easy it makes cooking for everyone out there, where you literally just add your ingredients, leave it, let it do its thing.
Set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it, and then you do your thing.
Right.
So you're showing us how to make that beautiful roast chicken with a 7 colors rice.
It's pretty intense, but the best thing for me is, again, it's extremely easy to make.
Yeah.
And this is, what's today? It's Wednesday, right?
Today is Wednesday.
So it's budget-friendly meals. It's the way. We're almost at the weekend, so by now you probably cooked on Sunday, cooked on Monday, you got some leftover vegetables in your fridge. Yeah. What happens to it? It either turns into mush in the back of the fridge.
Yeah, because you don't know what to do with it. That's the thing.
That's the thing. So what I do, and this really is a great way to clean out the fridge, but to get the family eating the most amazing food.
Wonderful.
So a whole lot of vegetables, which is quite important because people want to be healthy, want to buy a whole lot of vegetables, but again, they end up with this whole basket full of vegetables, and then what?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So here we go. 7 colors inspired by a Sunday lunch.
Yeah.
All the colors, all the flavors, all the textures is exactly what you want for this dish. So beetroot, you have to have beetroot in there.
Okay.
Beetroot goes in. But top tip, if you're gonna make this with the rice, which all comes together, don't put it all into the machine at once. You can end up with purple rice.
That's very true.
I'm not against purple rice. I mean, I'm cool with it. It's very, very cool.
Okay.
And then a bit of sweet potato going in. Onion.
Yeah.
And I've intentionally kept all the ingredients the same size. It's going to cook evenly. If you have a bigger piece of butternut or a bigger piece of beetroot, you can imagine.
That's true.
Cool. Talking about the butternut, that goes in. And carrots going in.
Wonderful stuff.
And then a little bit of broccoli and cauliflower. Again, we
cannot go wrong with that.
We had a bit of the cauliflower. It roasts so beautifully. So that goes in. So if this would be made in a normal oven, what's very important now is you have to coat it very, very well in that oil.
Yes, in order for it to roast properly.
Not today. So we're going with a little. I've actually tested this recipe out, and for this whole machine to fill it up with vegetables, I used 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You could probably do it with less.
Wow.
Just like that. You just want to give it a light coating.
Yes.
And then of course seasoning is very important.
Salt and pepper.
And then you can use
I'll help around with that.
You're gonna do the skill.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going.
There we go.
Oh,
it's the
my
confidence.
goodness, yes.
The food knows if you're scared or not. If
You
you're scared,
gotta
it's gonna
believe it. You gotta
There we go,
believe
you've
it.
got it.
Momentum, work
All right.
with it, and maybe just get the just get the body working along with it. What are you talking about?
Whoa, okay, cool, done. So then it goes into the machine, pop it open. Remember we spoke about the different settings, different
Yes.
like from 1 to 4?
Yeah, yeah.
This would be a 4, because you
4,
want to
so-
caramelize the ingredients, you want to get that crust again on the outside.
good,
So boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, check me out, I'm putting it in.
Okay.
Cool? Put it to the side. It comes out beautifully roasted. Again, because you're using 2 heating elements, that's a round heat system, heat from the bottom, heat from the top, and the air.
Yeah.
You're roasting your vegetables in literally half the time it would be in an oven.
Wow, and evenly cooked as well.
So evenly cooked. There's our beautiful caramelized
Wonderful
ingredients.
stuff. And I mean, you look at the surface area over here, you've got a large removable cooking bowl that allows you to fry and cook more food, just like you've just said, in lesser time as well. And the wonderful thing here is that it does this, it takes so much, more than other fryers out there on the market. But with this, you can fry, you can stew, you can caramelize, you can bake, you can roast, all of that. That's incredible.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's amazing. So yesterday we had the paddle in there for the pup.
Yes.
So to show you, like the paddle comes right out. So now it's not going to be like turning anymore. You've got the whole space at the bottom because we're going to make some rice.
Okay.
So I'll show you the picture. I made some amazing coconut curried rice last night for dinner.
You did, absolutely.
And it's absolutely insane how easy it is to cook rice in this multi-fry.
There we go.
There we go.
And some water.
Again, 2-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
You can add that.
We have fancy beakers in the studio for this. It looks like a science experiment.
Scientifically
so all
correct.
of the water going in?
Going in there.
There we go.
And then very important again, seasoning. Rice likes salt. So salt's gonna go in there, and I want to add a bit of color. We're gonna go with some turmeric. Again, we spoke about how amazing that is.
I love how you say turmeric.
Turmeric.
Isn't it turmeric?
Turmeric?
No.
I don't know. I mean, how do people say it at home?
Turmeric is fancy.
Turmeric.
I like that.
It is, okay. Salt and pepper going in, and then shut it down, just like that. I'm turning the heat down to... I first want to get like things happening inside the machine. So 2's fine.
Yeah.
And then once I can see there's a bit of bubbling, a little bit of action happening, I turn it down to 1.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it's going to absorb all that liquid.
Yes.
Then, so let's go.
So you want your rice to cook nice and slowly so that you have control. Because the last thing you want is to have mushy rice when the heat has... you've turned it up too high.
Yes.
And then the water boils out, but the rice isn't done yet. So now you have to add more water, but you don't know how much water to add because the first measurement was good and now the rice is mushy.
You've been there. You've had this problem.
I have. The rice situation is a bit of a touch and go for me, so this would be absolutely
That's the one.
helpful.
And then again, we spoke about this as well yesterday. You don't have to see, like, open the pot lid to see what's going on inside there. Because you're trying to trap all that steam inside there to steam the rice.
Yeah.
You got that viewing window on top, so you're seeing exactly what's happening, which is very, very important. Then let me just actually show you something. You see, this is a bit risky now because I folded up with ingredients already. But when your rice is done, right, you're not going to, like, try and dig out the rice out of the machine. We spoke about this being a removable top. So...
Oh, it turns into like a what on earth?
Yes, but also, very, very important. Normally, you have like one hand busy here, the other hand you have to like manage this basket full of hot rice. Which is very, very dangerous. You want to have as many hands available. So, just open it just like that, and then you lift, and the whole thing comes out. Am I doing it backwards? Can you guys see what I'm doing?
That's
and the whole thing comes right out just like that.
That's incredible.
Which is exactly why it makes it perfect for baking.
Oh, wow.
Are you here tomorrow?
Exactly. Well, yes, I am here
We're
tomorrow.
baking a cake.
You're going to be showing me baking a cake in there?
Exactly. It's going to be amazing.
So good.
The last thing is, you know, rotisserie chicken is next level chicken. There's just something about it that makes it so amazing. Yeah. It's the fact that the chicken keeps on turning and that heat keeps on hitting it from all sides. Yeah. You're going to be able to replicate that delicious, crispy skin, juicy, juicy flesh in the machine. Because now what you're doing is you're hitting the air from all sides because of this machine's replicating that rotisserie flavor. Yeah. And again, because of its size, you could do a proper meal for a family.
Yeah, like a proper chicken
in one
there
machine.
As well. Wonderful stuff. SMS the keyword chicken to 33728. Clem, thank you very much. Always such a pleasure, sir. We have great news because DeLonghi has partnered with Yuppie Chef. And if you want 20% off the FH2133 or the FH1373 models, then jump onto yuppiechef.com and then use the voucher code DeLonghi20. And do rush because there are only 40 items available at this amazing discount, and the offer is valid until the 28th of November 2019. And once you get yours, happy cooking. This is really cool, man.
It's amazing.
Oh man, that is a game changer of note. But the feel-good vibes also continue to hit a new note altogether here on your Feel-Good Breakfast Show this beautiful Wednesday. It's Hump Day. Musanete and Danny, I heard a little secret. Someone told me that you guys speak in song. more than we'd like to believe.
Yes, we do. I don't know what you mean.
This is it. We've been subjected to this all morning long, and I thought, well, perfect opportunity for you guys to order a cup of coffee from Sis Princess in song.
Hey there, princess.
Hello.
May I have a cappuccino with foam?
Wow. Okay, I get it.
Okay, and then what would you like to order?
Hi, princess. Can I get a chai latte with 2 sugars?
Wow.
And 1 dash of milk?
And then, princess, how do you confirm the order to make sure you've got the right order?
I get it.
Music played there here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. They're going absolutely nowhere. 2 more performances from them coming up, you guys. You've sang your way to cups of coffee. We'll see you after
A
this.
taste loved by those who have tried it. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
Win a trip to London from the 12th to the 20th of November with Travel Start, Virgin Atlantic, and in the company of our local explorers, Danilo Acquisto and Aquila Haron. Catch this travel fab duo on Expresso with their guide to the time of your life in London town. Vote for your favorite itinerary on the Travel Start website and put yourself in the draw for those 2 return tickets on Virgin Atlantic.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Happy Wednesday, and thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day. It's so good to be in your company, and it is a very exciting time right now because we are celebrating Bob's Boot of the Week.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Boot.
Yeah, hey, Boot.
Hey, Bobby boy.
Because on Monday we challenged all of you out there to send us your attempt at the Snoot Challenge, yeah?
Oh, man, I love it. I actually tried it with my pups. Haven't successfully done it yet. Yeah? But I think they kind of know that I was trying to do something. So we have had some people really get it right and some hilarious results. So the winner of Bob's Boot of the Week goes to Colleen Skinner. Let's take a look at her clip.
That was perfect.
Oh, that was beautiful. Well done, Colleen.
Do you want to try that?
You are Bob's new Boot of the Week, the lucky winner of course, that awesome Hills Dog food hamper valued at R1,000. Now we're going to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, we're calling out all the cat owners out there. Are you a cat owner?
No, I don't. Unfortunately not. I have allergies. No.
Oh, you have allergies?
Nothing. I have allergies for it.
Bob,
No, but
Bob has adopted you, man.
But Bob loves me.
Don't allergize yourself now.
He's like proper embracing you as well.
So Bob here is challenging you to one of the funniest challenges that we've ever seen out there. It's called the Cat versus Cucumber Challenge, and you at home can join in on the fun for a chance to win with Hill's Pet Food and, of course, take your place as Bob's Boot of the Week. So let's take a quick look at some of the hilarious cat versus cucumber clips.
Watch. There's a cucumber next to you, Cat.
Cat, watch out!
Cat, there is a cucumber.
Right there.
Run for your life.
Oh, Mr. Kitty Cat.
Cat, there is...
Mr. Kitty Cat, there's a green
cucumber behind you.
Oh.
There's a cucumber there beside you.
What's new, Kitty Cat? That is hilarious.
Why?
Is there an explanation of why that happens?
I just, and it sounds awful, but maybe it's like a throwback to some primal part of their brain where
Right.
they think it's like a snake or something. I don't know. Or maybe they just
It looks very
don't like a
dramatic.
cucumber.
It looks very dramatic. Like the cat is jumping like 5 meters up. I
But
don't
the
know.
best thing is you've got to get your cat not to see it for as long as possible, and then unbeknownst to the cat that they happen to see that.
Yeah, try sneaking up on your cat in the first instance.
Oh, that is very
if you and
funny.
your cat
Bob,
are up
do
for
you
the
approve?
challenge, send through a clip on our Facebook page where you'll have the chance to be featured as Bob's Boot of the Week, and of course win an awesome Hills Cat food giveaway courtesy of our friends at Hills. Good luck, and let's get our cats scared a little bit.
Science is at the heart of biology-based nutrition. The secret to lifelong health, it all starts with science.
All right, while you're devising your plan to submit your entries for the Cat versus Cucumber Challenge, we're going to take a quick look at the news headlines of the morning while we wait also for the gentleman of Forever Plaid to perform for us. Stay tuned.
Time for us to take that final look at those news headlines. Thank you very much, Kat. Now, the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in KwaZulu-Natal has activated councillors and volunteers to assist affected communities after a tornado hit New Hanover out in Pietermaritzburg yesterday afternoon. The tornado ripped through the area, injuring scores of people, damaging homes and public infrastructure, uprooted trees and interrupted electricity supply. High rainfall totals have been recorded across KwaZulu-Natal, and more showers are expected today. The South African Weather Service says accumulated rainfall amounts for tomorrow and Friday could exceed 100 to 150 millimeters in places over KwaZulu-Natal. Communications and Digital Technologies Minister Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams says that to fully leverage on the fourth industrial revolution, the African continent needs to ensure all digital strategies are people-centered so that they are not left behind. Ndabeni-Abrahams said that this, she said it when she addressed a session on the fourth industrial revolution at the AfriCom conference in Cape Town's International Convention Center. This was yesterday. She said this as several experts in the digital space had warned that with the advent of the new 4IR jobs, many old jobs are at risk of becoming redundant. In international headlines, queues formed outside banks in Zimbabwe yesterday as people hoped to get hold of the country's first Zimbabwe dollar notes to be issued since 2009. The currency was scrapped a decade ago after hyperinflation when prices were almost doubling every day. Zimbabwe's central bank hopes that the new notes will ease a severe cash shortage as the country suffers a deepening economic crisis. The bank has played down fears that the move will fuel further inflation. Currently, inflation is thought to be about 300%. Former Bolivian President Evo Morales last night arrived in Mexico City asking for asylum because he said his life was in danger. Morales resigned on Sunday after weeks of protests over a disputed presidential election result. The Mexican jet carrying him landed at the airport in Mexico City, where he held a brief media conference. He said he was forced to stand down, but did so willingly so there would be no more bloodshed. And finally, the Port Elizabeth branch of Sankob yesterday announced that its state-of-the-art swimming pool to help rehabilitate seabirds is nearly completed. Funds raised so far will help subsidize its cost, and the hope was expressed that the people would continue to donate to bring expenses down. The completion of the pool is great news, as almost 1 million oiled, ill, injured or abandoned endangered African penguins have been treated in PE since 1968. The new structure will also provide more space for birds for day-to-day seabird conservation work and accommodate an improved flow of seabirds undergoing rehabilitation. The center is situated in the Cape Recife Nature Reserve and serves as a marine bird rehabilitation and education center. Sankob is a non-profit organization. And that's where we leave it for this morning. Here's Graham with a final look at what's happening in the world of sport.
Running through those major headlines, of course, rugby dominating still after the World Cup. And now we turn our attention to the Barbarians. 9 current and former Springboks have been included in that Barbarian squad for the November tour, where they will face Fiji, Brazil, and of course our semi-final opponents, Wales. 6 other players will be joining the Rugby World Cup winning trio of Makazola Mapimpi, Tendai Beeston, Twara Rera, and Lucanio Am. Bok veterans Mornay Steyn and Jano Vermaak have been included in the squad, alongside Sharks backs Kerman Bosch and Andre Esterhazen, and Dylan Lates and Marco van Staden also will be representing the Barbarians, and they'll face off against Fiji in their first encounter at Twickenham this coming Saturday. In staying with rugby news, South African rugby player Cobus van Wyk has now signed for New Zealand Super Rugby franchise, the Hurricanes. That was after previously playing for local sides the Stormers and the Sharks. 27-year-old Van Wyk, who can play both in the midfield and on the wing, will be a replacement for Matt Proctor, who has left the team for the Northampton Saints in England. The 2020 Super Rugby season will kick off officially on Friday, the 31st of January next year. And great news coming off the track. Paralympic athlete Renee Weyers has won South Africa's first gold medal at the 2019 World Para-Athletics Championships, currently playing out in Dubai. Weyers won the women's 400-meter T47 event, also setting a record time of 55.79 seconds in the process. Some other results saw fellow South Africans Cheryl James claiming bronze in the 400-meter event, and Mpumelelo Mhlongo breaking his own world record in the 100-meter race to claim the silver medal there behind Germany's Johannes Flors. Then on to tennis. Bit of a shock. Tennis world #1 Rafa Nadal was outplayed by ATP finals defending champion Alexander Zverev, going down in straight sets 6-2, 6-4 in their opening round robin match. So the third seed Roger Federer, he beat Italy's Matteo Berrettini 7-6, 6-3 in their ATP finals encounter in London. So now Nadal will face the world #4 Daniil Medvedev, and that's happening today. And the 20-time Grand Slam winner Federer will go head-to-head with his old foe, the second seed Novak Djokovic, and that playing out tomorrow. And then finally, on to motorsport news. Red Bull Racing has now confirmed that Thai British racing driver Alexander Albon will be the teammate of Max Verstappen for the 2020 season starting in March next year. Albon was this year promoted to the Red Bull team. That was after driver Pierre Gasly was demoted to their junior Toro Rosso team. Since joining Red Bull, the 23-year-old Albon has finished in the top 6 in every race and even outscored Verstappen by 19 points. So I think the writing was on the wall. And that's a wrap of your sport for this Wednesday morning.
Thank you so much, G-Man, for that. Let's take a final look at what's happening on the roads in KwaZulu-Natal, Durban, in the CBD area. There are several roads affected by damaged trees and a lot of branches obstructing the roads, as well as a twisted traffic light. Please be cautious on the road this morning and turn those headlights on. Now, in Gauteng Centurion, there's been an accident on the N14 northbound after the Brakfontein interchange. Delays can be expected in both directions between Jean Avenue and the N1 highway. Please use an alternative route this morning. Also in the Metrorail Northern Line, there is a signal power failure due to vandalism at Kells River, impacting the train service between Bellville and Strand. The Strand train service remains suspended. Commuters are advised to use an alternative mode of transport between Bellville and Strand. And that was a final look at what's happening on the roads. Here is an update on the weather.
A zero-fee account with 0 surprises. That's different.
Money. Now, this morning we have asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Thank you so much to Ntokozo Maktini for your beautiful sunrise from Johannesburg, and Father Khan for your incredible sunrise picture from Richards Bay, as well as James Turner for your amazing sunrise from Durban, and lastly our regular photographer Gary Outcome for your spectacular sunrise from East London. Now let's take a final look at the rest of the country. Thunderstorms are expected for Polokwane with a low of 18 and a high of 24, Umbombela with 19, 25, Pretoria 16, 28, and thunderstorms can be expected for Johannesburg with a low of 15 peaking at 27, high humidity for Mahikeng with a low of 16 and a high of 30, a couple of showers for Klerksdorp with a low of 16 and a maximum of 30, Kimberley 13, 32, lots of sunshine, Bloemfontein 12, 30, and heavy rainfall for Richards Bay with a low of 19 peaking at 29, so make sure to get that jacket on. A couple of showers for Pietermaritzburg with a low of 16 and a high of 26, Durban 20, 25, heavy rainfall for Mthatha with a low of 14 peaking at 21, East London 17.25, Craddock 9.25, and a southwesterly wind of 33 kilometers per hour for you, Port Elizabeth, with a low of 16, reaching a maximum of 22. George is 15, 18, and the lowest temperature in the country is for you, Sutherland, with a low of 5, reaching a maximum of 21. Cape Town, Mother City, 16.24, and occasional rain for Worcester with a low of 10 and a high of 24. Springbok, 12.29, and the highest temperature in the country is for you, Uppington, with a low of 16 and a maximum of 32. That was a roundup for your weather. Have a beautiful day.
Well, if you're looking to tune up your Wednesday morning, then look no further than these stunning gentlemen in our studio this morning. They are the cast of Forever Plaid that is on at Theatre on the Bay until the 23rd of November, and they're sharing beautiful sounds with us this morning. Here they are performing a song called No, Not Much.
I don't want my arms around you, no, not much. I don't bless the day I found you, no, not much. I don't need you like the stars don't need the sky. I won't love you longer than the day I die. You don't please me when you squeeze me, no, not much. My head's the lightest from your very slightest touch. Baby, if you ever go, could I take it? Maybe so. But would I like it? No, not much. Like a 10-cent soda doesn't cost a dime. I don't want you near me, only all the time. You don't thrill me when you hold me, no, not much. My head gets hazy from your cool and crazy touch. Baby, if you ever go, could I take it? Maybe so. But would I like it? No, not much. No, not
Man, stunning performance. Thank you very much once again. I've got to ask you, what is your favorite moment of the show? If you could, what's your favorite moment of the show?
Cry when I have to. I can't expose the show, but I have a piece of cotton wool in my nose, and these guys have to like warn me before I start singing that it's still there, because I get nosebleeds quite a lot. So.
Oh, hence that picture. All right.
Yeah,
Well, do check them out. Theatre on the Bay. Tickets are available at CompuTicket, and the show is called Forever Plaid. And we have one more performance coming up a little bit later on. In the meantime, link up with us on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page. Let us know what you thought about that performance of No, Not Much.
Show that there's a glass and a half in everyone by lighting up the faces of orphaned and vulnerable children this festive season. Donate your pre-loved toys, books or games at the Cadbury Dairy Milk Generosity at the Gateway Theatre of Shopping in Durban between the 12th and 18th of November. You can also donate your pre-loved toys or new toys at selected Toys R Us stores or online at toysrus.co.za.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary hotline bling.
That can only mean one
Welcome
thing.
to it, your culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. Live, large in charge on this Wednesday morning. Now, who of you can remember those old typed up recipe books that you know, the ones that were put together by the ladies at the church or at the school fundraiser, the food stain booklets that were packed with all of the best hand-me-down recipes from all the aunties and the grannies in the community. Well, if you do remember that, well, someone who has taken the time to collect over 150 of these titles and recipes and that go back hundreds of years is a leader in South African cooking, Irida de Toy, and she spent the last 2 years picking out some of those best recipes from these community cookbooks and has put these together in one really amazing book called Share. And Irida, it's great to have you here with us. Thank you for joining us.
It's just wonderful and to be able to share this with you today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know this must be really special for you as well, because I know that whenever you bring out a really good recipe or one that's really close to your heart, you also bring, that's your family's
my family's
recipe book,
yeah.
right?
And I just want to say thank you for the music today, because they are so perfect for us, because it's like 20s, 30s, that type of vibe. And it's just wonderful.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So, Irida, if I could ask you then, where did the idea of this book called Share come about?
The idea started in my mother's kitchen, where I grew up with this little bookie that is so tattered and stained, and I know exactly which recipes were our family favorites, because those are the pages with the most food stains and butter stains. And then I actually inherited a box full of about 80 bookies from an old lady that entrusted them to me. And what was initially just an interest became a total fixation. Because of the spirit, the sharing spirit amongst women and amongst cooks that I experience in these books, which is precious.
That is absolutely wonderful. Even looking at them here, they're just beaming with stories to tell and ready to share. Now, what about you? Do you have any memories of those old community-style cookbooks?
This is my mom. She wrote this book for the school in 1979.
Beproefde recepten.
Beproefde recepten. It was a school to raise funds for the school. It is die hoërskool nou Weppener. Ze standaard 3 klas. Ze standaard 3, so that is grade 5 these days. And I've got so many memories. It is so stained. Look at that. There's a few recipes in here that I will always remember. My mom used to make like meatballs, always meatball Wednesday, because there wasn't a lot of money. So these were really economical recipes. So the meatballs were mixed with rice that was cheap, and it was just like cooked in water, and then afterwards added a bit of chutney and Worcester sauce, and that beautiful recipe is in here. And I also learned in this book how to make real puff pastry.
Oh, wow.
From the beginning to the end.
Wow.
The recipe is here. It is a long recipe, but I still follow it today when I make puff pastry. Look at this. This is one recipe. Look at the stains to make puff pastry.
That's incredible.
In detail.
That's absolutely incredible.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it brings loads of memories. And what Irida has done here, she's taking this 100 years of all these old recipes and modernized it as well for people like us now that's more modern.
So
So
that we can have it in our homes as well.
And adding that I didn't take the essence of the original recipe out of it. So it is still that familiar taste. It's just here and there where we cook a little bit lighter, we cook with more modern and fresh ingredients. But in essence, it's still the old Toni recipes
It's
that
like tasting the past, so to speak, isn't it?
It is, and it has its place today. It makes us happy, and it also still encaptures that sharing spirit. And this is the food that people really want to eat. Chutney chicken.
Tell me about some of the interesting stories and recipes that you've discovered. Excuse me, my mic pack just dropped.
You take a savoury tart or sauerkraut, as we know, and I think without savoury tart recipes, these books would have been much thinner, because you find as much as 7 or 8 savoury tart recipes, those with the Vienna sausages and things in. And it's about the politics in a little town where the person that compiled it got so many sauerkraut recipes that whose recipe do you choose and whose do you leave out. So just to keep the peace, they're all in here. So the Sotat, it reminds me of this little town politics and finding a way around.
And I can imagine maybe back in those days sitting around a table where you're tasting somebody else's cooking and you're like, but wait, that is my recipe. I know that. Only I add lemon rind to my...
Or criticizing it. I don't like this because it's But Kat, you know, Irida, this book was written for a mom, and her mom passed away this week. And look at this beautiful photo of her mom and all the Tonis.
Yeah, they all went to the same hairdresser and had the same perm. But her mom had a hat. Ines had a hat. Yeah, and you know, it's again this thing of what sets these, and especially if you take chocolate cake. There are as many chocolate cake recipes as there are cooks, but then there's only a few that get the ribbon, the show ribbon. And that is, if I go look for a recipe, a chocolate cake recipe, I won't go to the internet with a faceless millions of choices. I go to a book like this where I know the recipe is triple tested, relied upon. The cook put her name to it, and she would not dare put a flop recipe in here. So it's relied upon, it's double tested. And that is why they still survive, even though they are as...
Mevrouw van Tabberg took her recipe very seriously when she put her name to it over there. But that's beautiful. There's so much nostalgia, so much fullness and rich history to explore and to enjoy and to taste at the end of the day. I can't wait to be cooking with you a little bit later on. But we have great news because we are giving away a copy of this extraordinary cookbook. And if you want to stand a chance to win a copy of Share, then just reply to the competition post on our Expresso Facebook page and then tell us what's your favorite recipe that's been passed down in your family. The competition ends today at midnight, and terms and conditions can be found on our expressoshow.com website.
Oh man, having a lot of fun catching up with Tino. We are going to embark on possibly one of the coolest voyages, and I stress the word voyage. This is the first time we've embarked from a South African port. This is awesome, really exciting.
Doesn't happen often.
Whether you're looking for a romantic honeymoon with your bae, or maybe a fun-filled holiday trip with your favorite mates, imagine cruising brings you the best holiday packages and for you and your loved ones, and this one is really special. Today's extraordinary voyage kicks off in the sunny city of Durban. Not sunny today, but hopefully it will be. And you're cruising all the way to Venice. And Tino is here to inspire us to travel the world in a completely unique way. I love when you use the word repositioning. I know that means we're going to get one of the best deals that you will ever find.
Yes.
And you are taking us on a voyage. Never mind the destinations. We are crossing the Indian Ocean. This is incredible. Where are we going today?
Well, I must say, when I was going through everything for this show, this is probably the ultimate one that I would have wanted to do of all the packages we've spoken about. And it is a grand voyage. It really puts the word voyage into voyage. We will start off in Durban, South Africa, so convenient for South Africans. We then make our way through the Indian island oceans, and we go to Seychelles, Reunion, Mauritius. We go all the way up to the Red Sea. We do the Suez Canal. We even do the Mediterranean, and you end off in Venice. So many boxes that will be ticked during this cruise.
Such a diverse range of locations as well. So when I use words like tranquility and serenity, this is very much attached to places like Mauritius and the Seychelles.
Yes.
Turquoise blue waters. But I've also picked up there is adventure there. There is so much more to offer. Talk us through the first stage of our trip.
You know what's so popular about this package is a lot of people say they've always wanted to do either Mauritius or Seychelles and even Reunion, but it's quite expensive and you don't really get the opportunity to explore these. So you're very lucky with this voyage. You start off in Durban. We go to Reunion Island, the French island of Reunion first. Now, this is such a diverse, scenic island that you need to visit. They even have volcanoes there, and I think it's some of the closest volcanoes to South Africa, so definitely a must-see. And then Mauritius and Seychelles. I don't even think I need to elaborate on those two as to how luxurious and beautiful and exquisite they are. And the good thing with this cruise, you actually have an overnight in both these islands.
Oh, brilliant.
And a lot of our clients came back and they said, Tino, you know what we did? In Mauritius, we went to 2 resorts, the 2 resorts we always wanted to go to, and in Seychelles, they did exactly the same. So they literally experienced the island in luxury whilst being on a cruise. So it's awesome. And then we start sailing all the way to the northeastern coast of Africa.
And the nice thing is you can get your beaching in. You can make sure that you get those crystal clear, beautiful azure waters, beautiful beaches, and then you embark on a true nautical adventure on board the MSC Orchestra ship. This is all about the entertainment. What can we find on board this modern marvel?
This ship has got so many amenities and facilities on board, and clients are worried. They say, what am I going to do on board for 25 days? Well, I actually think 25 days won't be enough.
It's not enough.
Because there's so much happening. You've got the Covent Garden Theatre that will be hosting 2 theatre productions every evening, so it gives you the choice of either going before or after dinner. You can then make your way to the Palm Beach Casino and try your luck at either roulette, blackjack, or the slot machines, and it actually feels like you're in a grand casino. It doesn't feel like you're on a ship. And then they've got over 16 bars and lounges that you can go do post-dinner drinks. So you can do a different bar, different lounge every evening. And then don't worry about gaining weight. I mean, you're going to be eating a lot more than usual, but don't stress about that on holiday. They've got an outside running track, they've got a tennis court, they've got a golf simulator, and they've got a fully equipped gym staffed with personal trainers. And then also, I think this is an opportunity to get off the grid and just enjoy your stateroom or your balcony or your view. Read a book, stay in your PJs, because they've got 24-hour room service at your availability throughout the cruise.
Listen, we often joke about the, you unpack once and then you just enjoy it, but this, I think, this is something truly special, and for the amount of time you want to be able to really explore the ship, and this sounds like out of all of the ships that we've engaged with, this one, there is a lot to explore. This is absolutely amazing. So, this, I think, if you're looking for paradise, if you're looking for a balance of adventure and just pure holiday fun, this one is the perfect balance. And this, I think, if this seems like a dream come true for you, then you want to get on it. It is a repositioning, so it's a once-off, this magical journey with Imagine Cruising. So you want to make sure that you do capitalize and stay right where you are. We're going to be exploring more of the amazing destinations on this cruise, and they are filled with wonder.
There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. Buy any size and your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker. Then follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily prizes of airtime, cash, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, steam dishwashers, Caribbean tan hampers, or guest watches. That's more than 100,000 prizes.
Tropica, nothing smoother.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary hotline bling.
That can only mean
Welcome back. This is the Culinary Hotline Bling.
Sing, sing,
sing. Braxton, it's such a pleasure today and a privilege to be with an icon in South Africa's food history and heritage, Irida du Toit. And we're taking a nostalgic trip in time and discussing Irida's latest book. And here it is. It's called Share. And this book is a compilation of some of the best recipes from those treasured community cookbooks that have helped to form and shape South African cooking today. I was having a look at this particular one from 1933, the Almanac van Puddings, or the calendar of puddings that has a daily pudding recipe. Imagine eating pudding for 365 days. And then some of the recipes are as long as 3 lines.
3 lines, because that's all you needed to know, because actually all the cooks knew how to cook. It's only the ingredients that they had to have precise.
Yeah. As you said earlier on, Irida, you inherited so many books, and those that came from your own family and those that the other ones that you got. How do you then pick the recipes that you put into the book?
Well, many reasons. Some because of it's so familiar, and there's that nostalgia value, and then others because they're lost and forgotten and need to be resuscitated and rediscovered. And then I also chose some purely because they sound so bizarre. They sound so crazy until you make it, and it makes so much sense.
Like the one that you're about to make.
The one we're going to make today which is ginger biscuit fricadelles.
That does sound crazy and very strange.
It sounds so strange, but it comprises of fricadelles that's also made with few ingredients, but the quintessential soup powder. That you have. Soup powder is mostly used for things like this and not for soup. And then a yogurt or sour cream, breadcrumbs to bind it together with the egg.
Why the sour cream? Sorry, I interrupted.
The sour cream adds an acidity and tenderizes the meat.
Okay.
And it just adds a lusciousness to it. And people had cows, so it made sense. But in any case, you can use yogurt as well.
Okay.
But the beauty of this lies in this incredible ginger sauce. Sweet, sour, salty. And if you think ginger biscuits, they have the flour in, they have brown sugar, they have the nutmeg, all those wonderful spices already in it.
Wow.
And you use it to thicken, and nothing was wasted. So the leftover biscuit crumbs would have been used,
which you usually
to make
have a lot of if you've made a big serving of cookies at home.
Oil and sultanas, dried fruit, a bit more sugar because we love
sultanas? Sultanas, that's so weird.
The sultanas, if you imagine things like chutney, the taste of that sweetness that we love, a bit of vinegar.
Okay. And you add some stock over there. Okay.
And tomato sauce.
My jaw's on the floor because this is bizarre. It's super strange, but if it's intrigued you and you'd love to try this and have a taste of the past, SMS the keyword dish to 33728. Okay.
And this, I'm ahead of you, it seems.
You are ahead of me, yeah.
This dish has become the cheerleader for Share because everyone is intrigued, and once they've tasted it, they become part of the Share movement.
Okay, all right.
You change for life. That's something that you initially would have rejected without looking at it close, and I think there's a lesson of life.
Absolutely.
For life in there.
So with this wonderful cookbook that you've put together so beautifully, are you seeing a bit of a movement and people coming out and saying, hey, I have this recipe that my grandmother and my auntie shared with me?
That is what actually spurred me on to do this. Is the fact that people started rediscovering what they have in their kitchens, even if it's just one book. And also, there's a young generation that find it very trendy, and they actually collect it. So it has become collector's item. If you see one at a second-hand store or a church bazaar, buy it immediately.
Yes.
Because it's
oh my goodness.
It's become really collectible.
Okay.
Irida, and for this now, so you just a gingerbread biscuits sauce over the top, and then you just bake it in the oven.
You bake it, and it has a lovely. Oh, let him taste.
Oh my word! Thank you.
It's got a lovely thick.
Yes, and it's and again, there's something very familiar of our food culture is the taste profile of the sweet, sour, salty. that we love in our curries and in our chutneys.
Can I taste? I've never tasted.
gosh, sorry,
I've never
I was
tasted.
indulging there and I just drifted off into... Oh, wow.
I would eat this with traditional yellow rice.
Yes.
Or if you want to make it more modern, have it with quinoa or brown
Couscous,
rice.
maybe.
Couscous, yeah.
You know what it
Wow.
makes me think of is a bobotie without the without the curry. Bobotie's normally got that bit of tang,
Yeah.
but it brings back that memory.
This makes me think of when I was part of the Northwest Children's Choir and we used to tour the Karoo quite a lot. And then you'd go to, let's say, a particular church on a Sunday and be performing. And then afterwards, all the tannies would come around and they would have cooked up a storm to feed all the children, about 70 plus. And dishes like this would pop up. So you kind of, you drift back to the old town.
It immediately takes you to a good place.
Getting together of a community.
Yeah.
May I taste some more of that? This is actually brilliant. Okay, we're going to be making more delicious recipes from the book. It's called Share. And sharing this with your friends would be an absolute delight. So do so by SMSing the keyword dish to 33728. We'll send you a link to the recipe as well as the ingredients list. But remember, if you do want to stand a chance of winning a copy of Share, then just reply to the competition post on our Expresso Facebook page and tell us what's your favorite recipe that's been passed down in your family or in your community. The competition ends today at midnight and terms and conditions can be found on expressoshow.com. Got to get another piece of this.
Kat, I just want to stress the operative word there is share before you finish absolutely everything in the kitchen, buddy. We're going to share now, continue to share our love of a grand voyage. In fact, one of the grandest voyages we've been on with Imagine Cruising, straight from the beautiful Indian Ocean Islands. Our epic voyage now on board the luxurious MSC Orchestra that has a running track around it, guys. Come on. And now heads to the city of Aqaba, surrounded by mountains and deserts that look like another planet. Then we sail through the majestic Suez Canal and, of course, Imagine Cruising know a little thing or two about these incredible destinations. In particular, Tino, who I'm realizing has been to just about every place that he talks about. But it's part of the job, man.
It is part of the job.
Quality control. You've got to do it. So where do we head to next? What's the next stop on our
now we're
voyage?
leaving the luxurious destinations in the Indian Ocean. You'll be crossing the equator, which, again, another tick on your box. On that box. We then sail towards the Red Sea along the coast of Egypt and Jordan. Your port of call is Aqaba, which is the gateway to two fantastic destinations. The first one is Petra. Now, if you've ever watched an Indiana Jones movie, a few of them were actually shot there. Now, Petra is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a city that's carved out of stone in the mountains, and no video, no photo does this justice. You actually have to be there. The other option that you also have is Wadi Rum. Now, Wadi Rum are these valleys and valleys of red sand that just carved through limestone. And
it looks like Mars.
It literally looks like, and it's strange that you say that because all the Hollywood sci-fi movies are currently using it as
it makes such
the
sense.
set for Mars. Like The Martian by Matt Damon was even shot there.
Oh, wow. I'm sure NASA are testing things out in that
you
plane.
will absolutely be amazed with these options that you have there. And then we make our way up to the Suez Canal.
Beautiful stuff. So the Suez Canal takes us into the Mediterranean Sea. Talk us through that stage.
The Suez Canal transit is 2 full days. If you go outside on the outer decks every 20 minutes, it will look like you're in a completely different area. It goes from being as narrow to feeling like you can touch the desert to having these vast open spaces of water. And I mean, it's an engineering marvel. It's got suspension bridges and it's got little towns and farms and mosques and then just the desert. I remember standing outside once and it was so narrow. When I stood in the middle of the ship, you could see sand on either side, but the ship was still moving. It was such a weird feeling, but it's absolutely fantastic to do.
Another plane of existence.
Yeah.
Just very quickly, take me through the price of this trip and when does it leave?
It leaves on the 18th of April next year, 2020, so it is around the corner. And it's 39,999 per person, so that's 39,999 Rand. And then it includes everything. It even includes all your tips on board. All your gratuities are included.
Oh, wow.
And then for Expresso viewers, we do have something thrown in at the end.
Thank you.
But we will touch on that a little bit later.
I love that. And that's 26 incredible nights for 39,999 Rand. And when you take all the inclusivity involved, am I doing my maths right? That's about just over 1,000 Rand, 1,500 Rand a night.
It's just over about 1,400 Rand a night. I mean, if you can get all of those things
Which
rolled into one.
That's less than a hotel stay in South Africa.
Exactly.
That is incredible. And it is a repositioning. So the reason why they are able to achieve these incredible prices and this incredible route is because of that. So you really do not want to miss out on 26 incredible nights that you'll be embarking on the holiday of a lifetime. It really is for the amazing price of 39,999 Rand per person. Everything, even your tips included. And then from the Suez Canal, we move to Italy, and Tina will share more of the exciting cities we'll be cruising to and past after this.
Support Crush in giving away another 20,000 pairs of school shoes to children in need. Buy a Crush, dial the number on the pack, and stand the chance to win your share of 500,000 Rand. Hashtag share the goodness. Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary hotline bling.
That can only
Well,
mean
you
one
can
thing.
do that too if you like, as long as you're tuned into the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting! Whisking you off on a trip down memory lane, and I've just tasted the most delicious ginger biscuit meatballs from yonder years, and what a treat that was, and I can't wait to taste what we're about to make right now. And who remembers an old classic chutney chicken? Huh? Bladjang hoender. Is that what it's called?
Bladjang hoender, and it may be that you don't recognize it because you might know it as mayo chicken.
Yes.
Or depending on where in the country you are or which community, you call it either sour chicken or sweet chicken.
Yes.
Or pasterie chicken or four-legged chicken.
Pasterie chicken.
Pasterie chicken. Yeah, because when the elder arrived unannounced and unwhite, uninvited, and the dominee's vrouw could just chuck this into the oven and
do you know how that would happen, like back in the day? The dominee would just walk in on a random Monday morning. Dumelang! And then like, now all of a sudden the entire house, you gotta make tea, you gotta make cookies, you gotta make something delicious. So you're coming here with a beautiful recipe that I think is gonna help everyone out, and the fact that it's just a classic makes it even more special, and it's all contained in this wonderful book called Share. I've paged through some of the recipes. The pictures are incredible, the recipes are timeless, and the results delicious. Let's get to making this chutney chicken.
And the results as timeless. And the thing is, you have a choice. Either you use the 3-ingredient method that can just be a chutney, a soup powder, and that's about it. But I'm at Expresso, so we're taking the fancy road. And this is chutney, and you all just hoy it together.
Yeah. And you were saying there's something rather special about this for you because you made it the day before the box won the World Cup. Tell me about
on the
that.
Friday night, and it was so popular, and we believe that this helped the box along. So now it is, in our house. We didn't. I couldn't braai after the victory because I had to make another batch of chutney chicken.
So what is that? Worcester sauce?
Worcester sauce, and then grated onion just to make it bakes quicker.
That's the first time. I've never had grated onion in a recipe before. That's amazing.
Tomato sauce again.
And it's so much easier than having to chop.
This is true.
Tomato sauce always. And then mayonnaise.
And as simple as that, the ingredients are SMS the keyword eat
I'm
to
afraid if you
33728.
wanted me here for another 20 minutes, I'm going to let you down because this is already ready.
So what I do, I make this once a week. A confession time, once a week for my husband. I use chutney, the mayonnaise, and die pakkie sop.
Okay, that's the 3-ingredient version.
Again, the soup powder is so clever because it binds, it thickens, it makes it glossy. And again, you're nearly finished.
I've got to ask you while you're doing that as well, Irina, some of the interesting titles that you perhaps discovered when you were paging through these cookbooks, or maybe even the names. For me, I find the calendar of puddings to be most bizarre. And just the thought of eating pudding every day.
You know, there's a milk porridge that's called slinger om die smoel. It is sort of a type of a pasta cooked in milk with cinnamon, which is a comfort food.
Slinger om die smoel.
Slinger om die smoel is if the pasta part of it was very sticky, and it would get lumped up in your throat. So it's called slinger om die spoel. And it's small, and it's just wonderful that those old names are kept in these bookies, and I think in a commercially made professional cookbook, those glossy ones of today, these little sayings and things get lost and edited out.
There were so many established organizations. This cookery book from the South African Women's Auxiliary Service in Paarl, Cape Province. Wow.
It was for the Red Cross, and it was always the money that they made from these books, every cent went to the charity of their choice.
Oh my goodness.
So that's why it doesn't have glossy pages and food photography, because it would have cost too much. Cheap paper, staples.
Yeah.
They've got a Babylon Storen Sasatis.
I actually still plan to send that to Babylon Storen.
They need to put that on their menu.
Yeah. And credit the Toni that made it.
Let's see who made this. This was by Mrs. Van Low.
Van
Wyk Low.
Van Wyk Low. Okay.
What's interesting is the gender politics in these books.
Yeah.
Because the women's name, they didn't have their own names, their husbands' initials.
Oh, wow.
And it took quite a few decades, around about the 70s, with the Burn the Bra movement, that women's names, their own name and surname started appearing.
Yeah.
With the recipes. Yeah.
I love this by Miss Lange. Hasty pudding. Quite self-explanatory, in case you need to make it in a haste.
That's when the Germany comes in again.
To go with your chutney chicken.
Chutney chicken.
So how long is it going into the oven for?
Well, for 50 minutes.
Yeah.
But actually the signs that it's ready is when you can hear it bubble in the oven. That bubble and squeak. It goes all shiny and brown and sticky and sweet sour. It is just I didn't make it in my house before I discovered it in the bookies, and my child actually blames me for raising her without.
You denied me the privilege.
I have to now make up.
May we?
Yeah.
Just delve in. I think this might be just the easiest to cut. Look at that. Look at that beautiful sauce. Dripping wonderfully. I'm just going to have a little bit of a taste here.
You must have some of the sauce because it's all in that sauce.
I actually in the book say that you serve it with lots of rice and huge serviettes because you can actually eat this by hand as well. And it's the perfect pat course as well. If you don't mind driving with sticky fingers.
Where does that take you, Kat?
I think maybe that's exactly where.
Yeah.
Pat course. And having grandma made chicken the night before and, you know, packing it into these Tupperwares.
Yeah.
So the entire house and kitchen would be smelling full of chicken, but you know that you can't eat it until
tomorrow.
You're on the butt. That's why it's called butt course. So you have to wait your turn, and by the time it's opened up in the car, it's just, madness just ensues.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Thank you so much, Irina, for sharing these recipes with us, for putting them together in this beautiful book. It's called Share. And remember that if you want to stand a chance to win a copy of Share, then just reply to the competition post on our Expresso Facebook page and tell us what is your favorite recipe that's been passed down in your family or in your community. T's and C's apply and can be found on expressoshow.com. Thank you for taking us way back in such a delicious way. Thank you.
And you have to take that home and share it.
So from grand recipes to a grand voyage. So now we are taking ourselves through the Adriatic Sea between Italy and the coast of Eastern Europe, visiting some of the most iconic sites and cities along the way. Honestly, Tino, this trip aboard the MSC Orchestra is probably on balance the most diverse.
It's crazy.
But it feels like one of those grand voyages of old where you literally are traversing the globe and going to the most amazing. So we've had the luxury and kind of that island style feel of the Mediterranean. Now we moved through the desert regions where we've seen Petra, some of the most iconic movie sets of all time, if nothing else. Now we're moving to Europe and we're heading all the way to Italy. So what's the next stage of our journey?
It's literally like a box full of unknown presents. Everything you pull out is just something new. Now we head off to the Ionian coast of Greece. We will be visiting the small island of Katakalon, which is the port of Olympia. And here you will get to see one of the ancient wonders of the world, the Temple of Zeus. You'll see the original Olympic Stadium that was built 2,000 years ago, roughly. After that, we go into the Adriatic Sea, into the town of Kotor. It has been voted the world's best visiting city by Lonely Planet in 2016, and the name itself, Montenegro, for this country just tells you what it's all about. It's mountainous and it's dark mountains, so it's a country of contrast. You've got these white beaches, dark mountains and blue water. And after that, probably one of my favorites, which a lot of ships don't visit, is Split. Now, Split is the second largest city in Croatia.
Okay.
It's also the playground of the rich and famous.
I've heard Croatia is just on a different level.
It's on a different level, and what they have here that is mind-blowing is they've got the Diocletian Palace. Now, the Diocletian Palace has been named as Europe's most well-preserved Roman monument. But listen to these stats. I just told you that this is the second largest city in Croatia, but the palace makes up almost 50% of the city. So can you imagine how breathtaking in sheer size that must be?
I think especially for a South African, that antiquity, being able to see that history come to life is one thing, but these are sites, these are environments that will burn themselves into
And how many holidays have you had in one now? I mean, we've gone from tropical to desert to Europe.
And there is the adventure element as well. I love it. You're going to have to kind of rent a whole lot of movies that feature all of these backdrops so you can say, I've been there, I've been there, I've been there. And then, of course, add another icon to the list. We go back to Venice, one of Italy's most scenic cities. And again, it's one of those rare opportunities to actually get to Venice.
Venice. And what's nice about this is you literally sail in from the correct side of Venice. So on the right-hand side of the ship, as we're sailing in down the Grand Canal, you'll see the Piazza San Marco. You see the Basilica San Marco on your right. And then where we dock is close to the Rialto Bridge, which is walking distance. And a lot of people say, but I don't want to go home now. So don't worry, you won't go home. We've also allocated one night in Venice, so 2 full days, because the atmosphere at night and during the day are 2 completely different things. And then, of course, exclusively for our Expresso viewers today, the city that floats on water can only be discovered by water. So the gondola ride is included free of charge.
I'm just thinking of a couple that's planning a wedding proposal for a gent. Like, where do you do it? When do you bide your time? Do you wait until you get to Venice?
25 days.
Or you just keep the ring in your pocket and you just wait until that moment presents itself, because you are going to some unmatched scenes and places. This is truly, truly amazing.
It doesn't get better than this. And yeah, just to remind our viewers, it's based on the 18th of April 2020 next year. So your entire trip, your full board cruise, all your tips, plus your gondola ride, plus your accommodation in Venice, plus your return flight to South Africa from Venice, all at the lovely price of $39,999 per person sharing.
Wow, I hadn't even factored in the
flight to get back.
That is crazy. An unbelievable price, an unbelievable trip, something that I would imagine if you've been waiting for that opportunity to treat yourself, to do something that's going to be, let's be honest, life-changing, this is the cruise to do it. So you better connect with Imagine Cruising right now. You can do so on imaginecruising.co.za, or I would suggest don't even waste your time, just phone. There is someone standing by to answer all of your questions, to take you that step closer to the stream holiday. 086 177 245. Tino, this has been a good one, man.
It's a good one, eh?
So much. This has been a
Have
really,
a good
really
one.
good one.
Science reaches for the truth. It works for the big and small, for the old and young. And with knowledge as our first ingredient, science is at the heart of our food. For differences you can see, feel, and trust. It all starts with science.
Crazy about you, baby.
Crazy about you.
Crazy about you, baby, no one else on the shelf. Give me all your love and all that you can afford. Let me keep you always near, let you be adored. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. Now the time has come, honey, won't you leave? I will take care of you the rest of your life. I'm gonna spend a lot of money housing for two. A cottage in the country for just me and you. Crazy about you, baby.
Win a trip to London from the 12th to the 20th of November with Travel Start, Virgin Atlantic, and in the company of our local explorers, Danilo Acquisto and Aquila Haron. Catch this travel fab duo on Expresso with their guide to the time of your life in London town. Vote for your favorite itinerary on the Travel Start website and put yourself in the draw for those 2 return tickets on Virgin Atlantic.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, live right here at SABC3. What a Feel Good Wednesday we've had, guys. I mean, you've really just blown our minds. Such amazing musicality, but also the love on social media that's come through has been absolutely mind-blowing. The people absolutely love you. We've also given you delicious coffee, right?
Yes. Oh,
yeah. Catch them. They're going to be doing more of this at the Theatre on the Bay that's here in Cape Town from the 6th to the 23rd of November. Of course, you can get those tickets on computicket.com. But of course, this is their final performance. It's called Crazy About You, baby.
Do-da-do, do-da-do-do-do-do-do. Bop, 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 bop. Dilly, 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 wow. Crazy about you, baby, want you all to myself. Crazy about you, baby, no one else on the shelf. Give me all your love and all that you can afford. Let me keep you always near, let you be adored. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. Now the time's come, honey, won't you please be my wife? I will take care of you the rest of your life. I'm gonna spend a lot of money, house for two. A cottage in the country for just me and you. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-da-do-do-do-do-do-do. Bop, 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 bop. Dilly, 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 why? Crazy about you, baby. Man, I'm crazy about you. Crazy about you, baby. Don't know what I'm gonna do. Crazy about you, baby. I'm just bubbling with joy. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. Crazy. Dilly, dilly, bop, bop. Crazy. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. After we are married, we will raise a family. All the plans we had before will fit you to a T. We'll be living humble in our own little way. Way to be so fortunate, this be the day. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. Ha! Crazy. Yes, I'm crazy. Crazy, baby. Want you all to myself. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Ha!
Guys, I mean, how incredible is this? A whole song that they've written and that they're performing all for me. And about me. I just can't do it.
Man, hey?
Wow,
So are you the baby or the crazy that they're describing? Which one are you?
Little bit of both. What are you talking about?
A little bit of both.
A bit of both.
Take a bow, gents. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Forever Plaid.
What a wonderful show that
What a
must
great
be.
show today.
Yeah.
Guys, what an enjoyable show, man.
But they're on at Theatre on the Bay. In case you haven't booked your tickets yet, do so on CompuTicket, and the show is called Forever Plaid. They took us back to the 1950s in the most extraordinary ways. And I think if you have just an inkling of appreciation for what these guys are doing in terms of the technical difficulty of the music,
finding those harmonies,
blows your mind completely.
And that they do choreography while they sing all of this and bring a show to life in this way is just magical.
Yeah, it's not just the music. You've got this fantastic narrative, what sounds like a really quirky, awesome story as well. So we get to, first of all, the nostalgia through the cooking thing was just awesome.
Man,
was
that
really,
book
really
is
special.
amazing.
So
it's called Share.
go and
Check
share.
it out. And tomorrow we'll be sharing great news with you because Mrs. South Africa will be here. Jacqueline Ferns will be joining us in studio, which is very, very cool.
And then we'll also be broaching a very important day, World Prematurity Day, where we delve into the experience and we empathize with parents and families that have to deal with prematurely born babies. Probably one of the most stressful experiences anyone can go through. But we need to empower ourselves through education, and that's exactly what we'll be doing.
What are you most looking forward to?
To tomorrow?
Are you going to take your Toni Braxton band
No,
off
I'm
tomorrow?
not. I'm going to keep it till tomorrow to show Mrs. South Africa.
Are you showering in the morning?
Sometimes.
And listen, as we close off the show, let us send once again our thoughts and prayers to everyone in the KZN who suffers the impact of the tornado that made way into land, of course, yesterday. But we'll see you again tomorrow bright and early. Take care of yourself and make someone smile. Bye.
Bye.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.